Welcome back, everyone. This is Super Kelly Brothers Podcast. My name is Sloane Kelly.
My name's Jody Kelly.
My name is James Baker.
And I'm Douglas Maxwell.
And thank you both for taking part in what is our 100th episode. I don't know many stuff like that, but we are all drinking, so hopefully it'll go downhill from here.
Sorry, we are. Sorry, I'm gonna Grogan wants to eat.
Woohoo! Hand thing.
Also. That's where we're at.
No fireworks. That's it.
Fireworks.
That's as good as it
Just
gets.
a lightsaber and the Grogu handy thing.
Did you see someone put one on the plinth in Bristol?
Aye, good shout.
Yeah, there's an empty where they took the slave trader down. You know how they pulled that statue down and put it in the harbour?
Yeah.
Someone put a Darth Vader model up there instead.
Oh, brilliant.
Exactly.
Brilliant. Hopefully
Is that any better?
I think he's fictional, so there's...
Well, okay, I suppose, yeah.
It's got that going for
He's
it.
not a racist. Is he?
Is he?
No.
Is Darth Vader racist?
Do you remember
Yes, he is. Sand people. He doesn't like sand people.
Aye, but he's got good reason. Kidnapped his mum.
They've all got good reasons. The racists all think it's good reasons, Jody.
That's not a good reason.
Did you? I always love that little clip of
the dirty things with him.
With David Prowse doing the lines in his own accent. I always love it. You remember and realise the traitor, take it away. Because they had to say it before they dubbed him in.
Somebody did a documentary, a mini documentary, wasn't it? And he was like a audio specialist, and he recorded Dave Prowse's voice in later life and put the effects on it, and it actually sounded pretty good.
It did.
It did sound excellent.
Yeah.
Right,
he died last week, remember?
Yeah, that's why they put the Darth Vader thing up.
Oh, is that why they did
it's
that?
Bristol.
Right.
Yeah, because that's where he's from.
Oh, so it is.
It wasn't
They
a
should really
slave
keep
thing.
that then. Right.
Douglas, you're not dealing with intelligent people here. That took us a whole 2.5 minutes to figure out where you were going.
So can you explain that to me again? So
if you want quality,
if
you want quality content like this, you should hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and that'll give you timely reminders of when we throw up a new video. And of course, if you like this, and who doesn't, bunch of guys talking about Star Wars, smash the old like button and hit share, because it really helps the channel out. And a big shout out to JP in the audience. Hello,
JP.
hello there.
Hello there.
Hello. Are you singing Lionel Richie songs, JP?
I don't think so. Yeah, you are in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Is that gonna be your secret top 5?
Yeah.
Okay. I had a terrible run-in with my father-in-law. It's a very frustrating relationship because he gets everything wrong. And he phoned me up to say, have you ever heard of a song from the 80s?
Just a reminder, Douglas, you're live on the internet.
Yeah, that's true. We can't work the internet, so this kind of proves there's no. I'm completely safe.
Just in case this is libelous.
He watches that. Now that's what I call 80s channel. And he phoned me up and he said, have you heard of a song called All Night Long from the 80s? And I said, yes, everybody has. Lionel Richie. No, it's heavy metal, he says. It's a heavy metal song. And I was thinking, can we just cut to the bit when you tell me what the real name of the song is? But it was 2 days. And he thought he was going for, it might be Black Sabbath. And I said, well, I don't know then. I'm not going to know. And I was thinking, Black Lace? I'm Googling Black Lace. I'll save you the 4 days of misery it took for him to finally tell me it was called All Right Now.
Oh, yes.
And it's free from the 70s. No. Have I heard of that song? Yes. We've all heard of that song. He was the guy that said...
And Lionel Richie.
He said to me once, I was watching this U2 thing, and it was really late at Christmas, and he goes, what were the band that were exactly like U2? They were around at the same time, exactly like them. And I said, Simple Minds, probably.
Yeah.
No, they were exactly like them. And in excess. No,
Alarm.
no, they were exactly like, and I just thought, don't rise to it.
Cranberry.
What's this? Don't rise to it. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I was like, Depeche Mode went through a phase. Was it them? No. I'm telling you, they were exactly. Anyway, an hour and a half later, he breaks the news. UB40. They've got a U at the front and a number at the end. They're exactly like.
Can see that.
I hate UB40 with a passion.
I hate them as well.
I cannot stand that band. Them and Dexy's Midnight Runners.
I like Rat in My Kitchen. From UB40.
Is that UB40? Okay.
Rat in My Kitchen.
There's a rat in my kitchen.
Chrissy Hine did a thing.
Oh yeah, I get you, babe. Is it I get you, babe?
That's right. Aye.
They're one of those bands. Right, there's two versions, aren't there? There's a kind of official one and a somebody's UB40.
Yeah.
There's two brothers fell out.
IB50.
So you nearly B50. You're approaching years.
Oh, don't tell all the fans that. They think we're young hipsters.
Yeah. I'm still only 32.
That's true.
I was going to say the trouser size, but not even that.
Next year I'll be 50.
Yeah.
So the Star Wars Hotel is opening in Disney World, and my plan is that's going to be my 50th to myself.
Oh, cool.
Star Wars Hotel.
Can I come?
If we can get out of this pandemic, of course. But yeah, that's my goal is the Star Wars Hotel opens and I get 3 days there.
Well, that's a year that. Aye, so you're 59 this.
I'm not 59. For love of God, I've aged 10 years in the past 2 seconds.
Yeah, Jody, he's not Benjamin Button. He's not getting younger. So you're 59 now, you'll be 50 next year, and then you'll be 22. Sorry,
you're 40. You're
40. You live in Bristol or something? What? Getting very confused.
I think I'm getting senile already.
Hello there.
Hello there. Oh, that's German. Obviously, he's talking now. Very good.
That little symbol's from Berlin, isn't it? That's the little green man in Berlin.
It is, yeah.
I had to ask him what that was, actually. JP is one of our friends. He lives in Troon as well. He's not a random. We know him.
He's probably the biggest gamer out of everyone here.
He probably is, actually.
This gaming podcast. You'll be sitting there watching this gaming and drinking. That's how much of a gamer he is.
I know. So he's got headphones on, listening to this.
We'll need to get him on at some point.
Elite Dangerous or something.
I think what we'll do is we'll do another commentary, a Star Wars one. One of the movies, and get him on. I think he'd like that. You'd like that, wouldn't you, JP?
Currently gaming.
There
you go. No surprises there.
He's a PC gamer, I think.
And it was Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
There you go.
You go.
See,
he's all over it. He was telling us about it the last time we met him. It was obviously, pre one of the lockdown things, and he was telling us all about it. It sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so shall we?
I think we should. Yes.
We could just ramble for 2 hours. I don't know. You want to do that?
Jody, do you want to talk about what you've been watching this week? The highlights more than the lights, I guess.
Aye, I'm not going to. Because we get
we'll get a few bits to go to.
Yeah,
this is our 100th episode. Oh, wait a minute, hang a sec. On you go, keep going.
I was thinking it was our 200th episode for some reason. I'm thinking we've been doing this for 4 years. No, definitely not. The first thing I've been watching is I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's on Sky, and it is called Raised by Wolves. It's Ridley Scott's new thing.
No, I've heard of it, and I'm definitely going to watch it, but I've not started.
Aye.
It looks good.
Yeah, so we are like 4 episodes in.
Have they given them all?
One of them more. Sorry? Yeah.
Are all episodes there?
Yeah. It's on Sky Atlantic. It is one of the best sci-fi things I have watched for a long time.
I'm so glad you said.
The first episode is Ridley Scott builds worlds, and the first episode, the characterization and the special effects, otherworldliness, it's just got it in spades because it's dead subtle. But it's just like, I think it's based on biblical text as well. So it's like the origin of man or something like that. It is brilliant so far. Really intriguing as well.
10,
kind of
10 episodes?
Yeah, 10. Yeah, and it's kind of mystical. He's kind of creating a bit of myth, kind of Stanley Kubrick-esque type stuff going on.
Isn't the guy from Ragnar from Vikings? Isn't he? I get the impression.
Yeah, he's the main guy.
The main guy.
Yeah, he still looks like a Viking as well.
Yeah.
And he's got that kind of shaved hair at the front and long at the back. I'm going to go for that look, actually. I think I'll go for that look. It's kind of Evelyn's cut my hair, and it's kind of a bit like that right now, but it's just you can't see it.
Oh, I think I'm going to watch that then, Jodie. I was going to watch it.
Oh
anyway,
man,
I think I'll watch it sooner.
Oh mate, honestly, it's fantastic.
Is everyone watching it?
Yeah, we're both watching it.
Yeah, she likes it too. Cool.
Both enjoying it. Aye.
Nice.
Do you have Sky, Douglas? Yeah.
No, but we've got. I'm BT and Netflix, but I've got Now TV, so I can.
You'll get that on there.
Check things out.
I'm sure.
Yeah, you get it on
Now.
You
get it Now TV then.
Yeah, you pay for it. I've not seen it though.
Aye. Oh, it's terrific. So far, anyway.
Very cool.
And it's intriguing because it's one of those ones that it doesn't. There's no baby steps with it. It assumes that you're an intelligent adult, so it's not giving anything away. It's like one of those ones. So yeah, really enjoying that. And it looks epic as well. They've thrown loads of money at it.
Mm-hmm.
And Ridley Scott's son, Scott. Scott. Scott.
Scotty Scott.
Yeah.
It spells it SCOT, just so you don't mixed up with his second name. Anyway, his son, whatever the hell his name is, Bobby Scott, whatever his name is, he directs a few episodes as well, and Ridley directs a few. So,
how old is Ridley Scott?
Pushing
80.
Really?
He's
about 82. He's about 82, I reckon.
See, when you go onto IMDb,
going.
when you go onto IMDb and you see his most current work, and then above it, it's got upcoming projects. It's massive.
Yeah.
It's that big.
Yeah.
All the stuff he's gonna do.
He's 83.
That is so 83.
Hell.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
I mean, how old was Richard Attenborough? Not Richard. Yeah, Dickie
David.
Attenborough.
Dickie.
No, the director brother. How old was he when he was doing movies? Towards the end of his life.
What, when he did Jurassic
I
Park?
think he was pushing in his 90s. No, when he was directing.
Don't know.
Was he?
He wouldn't have been doing the level of projects as Ridley Scott.
No, he
Ridley
tended to be
Scott's
kind
off the scale.
I think
Even Clint
he
Eastwood.
must. I know.
Even Clint Eastwood. I thought Clint Eastwood, his last movie he did was Gran Torino.
Oh, no.
Check out how many movies he's done since then. He's done 20 films since then.
He's done loads since then.
He's incredible as well,
His storytelling is amazing.
Oh, incredible. Brilliant.
I like his later stuff. I thought $1 Million Baby was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
He just went a wee bit, he went a little bit funny politically. And that meant he didn't get the coverage he used to get.
He started talking to chairs. That was pretty much his kind of
that's right.
Slide down.
Right. I remember that.
I liked
Gran
his.
Torino was great.
Gran Torino's good. The Mule was amazing.
Yeah.
American
And this week,
Sniper.
I've not seen that yet.
I've not seen that. No.
Yeah.
The Unforgiven's a total masterpiece. It's
Oh man, that is a complete masterpiece.
It's got the bit where when the guys are hiding and they're running across and the young guy's going to fire and kill the guy.
Mm-hmm.
You feel the pressure of the trigger. You think it's one of those bits on film you really feel that someone's going to get hurt.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Brilliant. Gene Hackman. Terrific.
I've not seen Unforgiven.
Oh, you'll love it.
Not seen it.
You've not seen it?
No, I've not. No. I do like a good Western, but I've not seen it. So I've just literally written down in my book, Jodie, all right? Unforgiven.
There you go.
I'm going to watch it.
James takes
Is that all right? Is that all right?
That's brilliant. All right, down there. You probably.
It might need inverted commas in case you look back at it tomorrow and think, why am I not forgiving them?
You also might want to write.
What have I done?
You might want to clarify who said it. You might want to say Jodie.
All right.
Unforgiven.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Jodie, Unforgiven.
Yeah. John's like,
Unforgiven.
what? Jodie's still Unforgiven.
I'm like, hey, what? I've done now.
Unforgiven Kelly.
Yeah. I've got a guilty conscience at the best of times, man. Anyway, yeah. So watch that. Watch the Sense8. That's a kind of older thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's done by the Wachowskis.
Yeah.
No longer the Wachowski brothers. The Wachowskis. Have you heard of this?
Yes. Sense8. Is that on Netflix?
Sense8.
Yeah.
It's on
It was
Netflix,
cancelled
yeah.
after
Yeah.
2 seasons or something, I think.
I've watched the first
Yeah.
couple episodes. Did you like it?
I
John?
watched the first one.
I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it.
I watched the first one and gave up. I was
Yeah,
recommended it. Somebody told me it was great. And it was one of those ones.
Was it your father-in-law?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's exactly like The Matrix. Exactly like
Exactly like it. Directed by the Wachowskis.
Exactly.
Well, they don't call themselves the Wachowski sisters because you know how they had
No,
built.
they just
They
call them Wachowskis.
were the brothers before. Now
The
they just call themselves the Wachowskis.
Yeah.
And well, you know yourself. There's a bit of kind of gender things and lesbianism and things like that. So I'm enjoying it.
Martha Jones is in it from
And
Doctor
it seems
Who.
quite intriguing as
I
well.
can't remember the actress's name. Frima Agaman is in it. Who, by the way, is very, very nice. I met her once at well,
I like this bit of the
I was-
podcast.
I was in
So you can
the
talk about who we've
the
met.
Toronto Fan Expo, and she was doing a talk about things and kind of said
Sense8.
hello, and she went hello, and that was my interaction with her.
So
But she was lovely. She was
very
up on
nice.
stage, and she was talking about Sense8, and now she was very proud of the project and all that.
What was she famous for? What's her thing? that you
She was
knew?
Martha Jones in Doctor Who.
All right.
So I get
All right.
Sam's a huge Doctor Who fan, so she dragged me to
Okay.
a panel with Frima Agaman.
Well,
She also
Daryl
dragged
Hannah's
me
in it.
to
Sense8.
the Haley Atwell one as well.
I'm saying Daryl Hannah's in Sense8. She's the most
Oh.
famous one in it, I think.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
She's right at the beginning. She's in it.
And married to nowadays?
Who?
Who's she married
Rob-
to? Neil Young.
Robbie Williams.
Yes, I
Neil
did
Young.
know
She's
that.
married
Yeah, yeah. She wanted that sweet, sweet Canadian passport.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah. I'm saying married. They might not be actually married.
No, I think they're married. I think they're
Really?
married. Yeah.
Well, Jerry Hall's married to Rupert Murdoch, isn't she?
I know.
Yes.
Which is
Oh,
a
really?
random one.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
That's quite random.
Big, sexy Rupert Murdoch. You know? Known for his sexiness.
That's right.
I don't know
Didn't
about money, I
she-
suppose he could have
Wasn't she
anything.
in '89 Batman?
Mm.
Wasn't she
Jerry
the
Hall?
Joker's?
No. No, it was Kim
I
Basinger.
think so.
No,
No, was she not? No, was
No.
she not the Joker's
She was
girlfriend?
Joker's squeeze.
Yeah, I think so.
She ended up disfigured. Kim Basinger
Yeah.
was obviously Vicky
Yeah.
Vale.
Vicky Vale,
I'm
yeah.
talking about, but she had
I'd have seen that film a million times.
Which, by the way, what a fantastic soundtrack.
Yeah, it's great.
absolutely.
That movie.
R.I.P. Prince.
I was just thinking about wanting to see that again, the original Batman. And Batman Returns, thinking that Batman Returns contains some of the strangest bits of a mainstream movie ever.
Mhm.
That bit when the little train, the clown's driving the children away. No,
The biblical thing.
I know.
Yeah.
This is a big blockbuster in megaplexes.
Also set at Christmas as well, so technically
I
it's
was
a
going to
Christmas
say,
movie.
yeah, we used to watch it there because it
Oh,
is
yeah.
a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Right. Where can you get that? I wonder.
Featuring
Oh.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah, Chris
Yeah.
Walken.
Yeah, exactly.
And Michelle Pfeiffer was Catwoman, and
Yeah.
Danny DeVito
She's-
was the Penguin.
Fantastic. She's fantastic.
Cobblepot.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
And some loser playing the Joker. Can't remember his name.
He was
Aye.
there, was he?
And the first one, you mean?
The first one, yeah.
Yeah,
Jack
can't remember him.
Uh,
A forgettable
I like that
performance.
bit. I like that bit when Michelle Pfeiffer and it says hello there in neon
Yeah.
letters, and she smashes the letter and it says
Hell
Hell here.
Hell yeah, yeah.
Brilliant.
It's great.
Good.
Yes.
So movie, what we had cinema night. See, this would be quick if you guys stopped interjecting. Sloane's wanting this to go
Oh,
quick,
sorry.
but it never ever does.
This
no,
is
no,
this is the
not at all.
point
But,
of it.
but I'm saying to you, but But Sloane, it never goes quick because we always end up having a discussion.
You always
Which is
say
the
you
whole
want to go
point of the thing. No, I don't want it to go quick though. I want you to all jump in. But you were wanting to go quickly, but I don't think it can never go quickly. So then we watched. Then we watched Cinema Night. Was Evelyn, what did we watch in Cinema Night?
Hey, no help. There's no phone a friend. It's not 50-50, take a lifeline.
We watched
Ask the audience.
The Amazing Spider-Man, the one with Andrew Garfield.
Andy Garfield.
I've never seen
the first one.
Mm-hmm, that one. Yes, the one with Lizard in it. Rhys Ifans.
Oh, that's right. By all.
Which was alright.
Aye, by
Oh,
all.
we watched.
I'll tell you something, someone. Sorry, that was Jordy.
It's okay. It's not. I don't think it's the best one.
Gunny lad with that spider web, don't you?
Yeah, that doesn't sound very well.
Off we design
That's what I'm saying.
Spidey.
It wasn't. It was,
I know.
it was Sunderland.
I know.
Off we design Spidey.
Did he have an American accent, or did he go full Welsh? I can't remember.
I think he was English.
Who, Andrew Garfield.
He did an English accent.
Oh.
I seem to remember him doing the same accent in Elementary because he played Mycroft in Elementary, the TV show.
Right.
Who?
Rhys Ifans.
Oh, Rhys Ifans. Ifans.
Hello, boyo.
He's good in it, actually.
Boyo.
He's a
Hello,
lizard in
boyo.
it. He's good in it.
I quite like that. I
Rival
quite like
Engine.
Andy Garfield. I quite like.
I
Obviously,
liked him, yeah. I thought he was a good Spidey. Mm-hmm.
Aye. Oh.
That's Danny's original Spider-Man. So he's how everybody's got their Doctor Who and everybody's got that's his Spider-Man because that's the first one that he ever saw.
Mm-hmm.
He never saw the Tobey Maguire ones.
I gotta say, I like
when
Tom
Spider-Man
Holland's
came out.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I love Tom Holland. I remember when Spider-Man the Tobey Maguires first came out. Douglas, and you're a bit of a Spider-Man comic fan, aren't you?
I was, yeah.
Aye, and you were saying how close it was to the origin
I liked
story
it better.
that Tobey Maguire ones.
Funnier and younger. That's the Spider-Man, because I liked his sardonic humour.
Yeah,
Spider-Man. He was always like my favourite one. I remember it was in an annual. Spider-Man had a cold, and he had to go out and fight all these people with a cold, and he had to stop and keep paracetamols and things. He could do without it, and I think that's I've always liked that about Spider-Man. A wee bit more human and a little bit
humanity.
less.
Yeah.
I watched.
Like that as well.
Have you seen that film Amy's Game, which is about poker?
No.
And it's about women that's running poker.
I want to see that.
Dead good, but it's based on real life, and there's a Hollywood star in it who's a total nightmare in poker and a kind of destroyer of lives, and it's Tobey Maguire it's based on.
Really?
Wow!
Like he controlled the game and controlled the people in the game, and is just a really seedy, untrustworthy person. And they change all the names and all that, but that's what they think it is. Apparently, I keep forgetting this is actually
allegedly
going out in the world.
We're going deep cut. We're going deep cuts here. We always put disclaimers. We always put disclaimers in that these may or may not be true facts.
Might be talk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Douglas, see all that stuff you're talking about with Spider-Man having a cold and stuff like that. That's Stan Lee. That reeks of Stan Lee, like giving him like he's struggling to pay. He's struggling to pay the rent. He's got a cold. He's got girlfriend issues and stuff. He hasn't done his homework. All that stuff. Stan Lee. He wants him to be the
character writing, isn't it? It's like you can actually buy it rather than something that's untouchable.
He looked at apparently Stanley looked at what DC were doing, and he had them all as gods. So Batman is like basically Bat God. Superman is a god. Wonder Woman is a god. But like Cap was a soldier. Peter Parker was a student, then a teacher. They're the everyman, but DC were all the gods, and that's how he wrote them. It's the sneezing and all that stuff. It's all I love all that stuff.
I love it.
Yeah. Brilliant. But they're evolving superheroes because obviously there's no phone boxes anymore. So Superman can't, get changed in a phone box, and Spider-Man is not a photographer now for the Daily Bugle.
Clark Kent's a planet.
Yeah.
Peter Parker's the Bugle.
My daddy is a planet. But And we watched that Netflix animation Over the Moon as well.
Never heard of it.
Which is okay. Have you not?
No.
It's done by ex-Disney animators, and it looks like a Disney movie. Totally looks like a Disney movie. Danny
But
liked
just
it.
so.
There's singing in it. It's very, very Disney.
Nope.
But it's a Netflix production.
All right.
Me and Danny just look at each other when it's the singing. We go like that, shake our heads.
Can't be doing with the singing.
Shame, 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 shame.
No, I'm all about the singing. I love her singing in an animated film. I love it.
Hey, listen,
I
I
hate
like a musical, but the singing for me in the animated things can be a little bit over the top, and a bit kind of New York, Broadway-esque.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Milan, though. I liked the tunes in Milan. I thought they were good.
I'll make a man out of you.
But it was the guy from Hamilton. He wrote them, didn't he?
Wait, what?
Is that
Not
right?
Milan.
Is that right?
No, I don't know about
Milan,
the new
You
sorry.
mean Moana?
Moana.
Moana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wrote some of them for Moana.
I think he wrote You're Welcome.
Yeah.
All right, I thought he wrote
And I think he did Shiny as well. That one.
Yes, I think you're right.
Shiny,
The
Shiny Tam.
The David
Yeah.
Bowie.
Yeah.
Esque.
We can't get David Bowie, so we're going to get Jermaine
Oh
Clement.
yeah, that's a good one.
That's
That's
a
a
good
good
one.
one.
Shiny.
Yeah, that's good. I love that film actually. I much prefer it to that
Brilliant.
to
Frozen.
Frozen. I thought that should have got accolades.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Especially after Frozen 2.
Mm.
Did not like
That was
Frozen 2 at
aye.
all.
Frozen 2,
Like,
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. I mean, the songs in it weren't memorable. I mean, it was like one about being lost, and I'm like, okay. And then they tried to do like an Olaf one, and it was just fell flat. And you think after
Just
spending
to me,
like
there was
5 years, they'd have written something better.
Yeah. To me, there was no plot in it though. It was
No,
just
there wasn't.
kind
No.
of teens strung together with songs.
Can't quite remember it.
A
They go into the
montage.
woods and there's all invisible people around and all that, isn't it?
Yeah, but then
it's
the-
totally
she goes
unmemorable,
into
aye.
like an ice cave, and then she meets her
Yeah.
dead parents' ghosts or something. I can't remember.
To be fair,
It's
we're
all-
probably not the target audience, mind you.
It's very
No.
true. Yeah,
My kids liked it. My two
No.
girls liked it.
we're not the target
Well, yeah.
audience for Moana, but we found that interesting.
Maybe,
That's true.
yeah, that's true. Good point. I loved La La Land and things like that. No, I really like that film.
That's good.
Oh, Jodie's
Did you
just
watch,
out of the stream.
What?
I like La La Land. That's almost a permanent ban.
Anyway, that's
I like
mine.
La La
So
Land.
yeah, I liked it. Did you see? Oh God, what was it called? Not
Come on.
Backbeat. It's about the same director that did a movie about a drummer.
Oh yeah, Whiplash.
Whiplash is
Whiplash.
brilliant.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
With Simmons in it.
and J.
Yeah.
Jonah Jameson's in it.
Yeah. Being
He's
brilliant.
an absolute
Yeah.
arsehole. Aye,
Mhm.
yeah.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's great.
His
Oh,
insults.
It's about a
he's like
drummer.
it's like-
I know.
Yeah, but he's J. Jonah
Why-
Jameson is like his put downs and insults are just off the scale. Aye.
My favorite
Unbelievable.
drummer movie is Beware of Mr. Baker.
Oh, it's brilliant. That.
That is a fantastic documentary.
But Ginger Baker.
Yeah.
He's not. I've never heard
He's a
of
loony.
Yeah,
I
well, he's
love
done now.
rock and roll
unfortunately.
excess, but they've never heard of somebody squandering money. He squandered all his money on polo ponies.
Yeah.
And they're like $1 million a pop, these ponies that play polo.
Yeah.
And he had the big cream reunion. He made like 30 million quid. It was gone over a long weekend on ponies.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he also reckons he should have got a quarter of the cut because he reckons that the musically, he put in.
Yeah.
I think
No,
he put an equal measure.
Exactly.
I think
Clapton and
he is actually a musician. I was a drummer. He's a musician. That
Yeah.
guy, like Ginger Baker. He's just amazing behind the kit.
Who played him in the
Yeah.
film?
Him is a documentary.
Oh, is that a documentary? All right, okay.
Yeah.
It's called that because in the opening minute or something like that, he's getting chased off of Ginger Baker's property in South Africa, being beaten with a stick. So much so that he's going, oh my God, and he takes his hand away and he shows it to the camera. It's all covered in blood because he's basically whacked him with this the shillelagh on his nose.
The subject of the documentary is beating up the director of the documentary.
Get off my property.
He's mental.
Yeah.
That actor that played in Whiplash and J. Jonah Jameson, he went a run of playing those guys. He was also in Burn After Reading, playing the head of the FBI.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yes.
The same guy, sitting behind a desk, raging at people.
Yeah.
You know?
He was awesome in that
That's
movie
a great
as well.
film, very underrated.
Oh, it's
Coen
brilliant.
Brothers film that.
Also, if you like him as well, he plays Cave Johnson in Portal 2, the game. So if you want to hear him riffing on stuff, then,
I think you mentioned that before. Stephen Merchant is in it as well. Portal 2.
Yep, he plays Watley.
We're in the middle of Portal 2 right now.
Yeah,
not us four. I mean, me and Dan.
Well, right now. Well, my background is blue, so maybe I've got the blue portal.
Doesn't he also play Jim Gordon in the Snyderverse?
He does.
Did he?
You're right.
Yes,
Yeah, he did. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're right. He wears a trilby.
He does, yeah. And if you follow him on Instagram, he was in the gym a heck of a lot, even though he never needed to show his abs. But
I did see him.
Abbed
he
up.
was, yeah, and
He was
his
jacked.
arms were like, wow.
He was the most jacked
And he's
Jim
what-
Gordon I've ever seen.
He's also in a series of a series of adverts over here for Farmers Insurance, and they're
Is he?
really funny adverts. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's really good in that.
I think we spoke about him before, and quite recently.
J.K. Simmons. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. Angry Man.
Mhm.
Okay, that's me. Who's next?
Can I go and grab a beer?
Sure.
I'm going to grab one anyway.
Sure.
I don't know how this works on a live broadcast.
No, just go for it.
Just go for
You
it.
guys,
Yeah.
if you guys go for one just now, when you come back, I'll go for one.
Tag
There you
team.
go.
Let's do it.
All right.
Talk about
We'll move on
yourselves.
from there.
We will.
We're live, guys. We're live. We're live.
Hello.
Do you want to go next, James?
Yeah, I'll go next time. I just
I'll
want
get
to
a beer for you. I'll nip round to your house and
Wait,
hand you it.
that's it. The window's
What was
open,
allowed?
just chuck it through.
I
just,
could
I just say, like, I've been quite into aliens, right? And there's obviously that whole thing. I struggle with the Henrik Larsson, Lance Henriksen thing. I just feel when Douglas was away, I thought, I'm just going to bring this up and see if you guys can help me nail that down. So Henrik
Lance Henriksen
Larsson
is a footballer.
He's a footballer.
Lance Henriksen was a footballer.
Yeah, Henrik.
Henrik Larsson.
No.
So Henrik Larsson was in Aliens.
No, Henrik Larsson's a footballer. Lance Henriksen. Lance
Right,
Henriksen.
okay.
How long was I gone? What's happened here?
So who's who?
Hey, John Paul, nobody said
So
you were
Lance-
professional. Come on.
Lance Henriksen was in.
He played for Celtic.
No,
No.
that's Henrik Larsson.
All right, okay.
So Henrik Larsson played for. He was a footballer. I don't know what he played for. But Lance Henriksen is the actor who was in. I want to say Terminator 2 and Aliens
And Terminator 1.
and Millennium as well, the TV show.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. I know who you're talking about now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's Lance
Yeah.
Henriksen.
That's it. Okay, right. So anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up when Douglas was away getting a beer. Done. Didn't Lance Henriksen have his shin pop out at Parkhead? I mean,
That's Henrik Larsson.
Henrik Larsson.
didn't his shin pop out?
I don't know. Wait,
Yeah, there
what?
was a broken leg in.
JP will know. If anyone will know, JP will know.
I remember seeing a picture of Henrik Larsson's feet, and they're all sinewy and horrible. Remember that like years ago when he was playing for Celtic?
Jody, no.
Yeah.
Can we just stop the podcast for just a second?
Yeah. What's
Why are
happened
you
here?
Googling Henrik Larsson plus feet?
No, I wasn't. JP will probably
Specialist type.
be able to
What?
answer that one as well.
Is this-
No, I wasn't. It was like for an art project or something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
There's that.
okay.
It was an art project. It was for Pete Townsend's album.
Pete Townsend
Oh,
Pete
look.
Townsend's writing
There
you
about
go.
it.
I was right.
And Leon.
Farmers
He
and
Cracked it.
Beyond.
His shin came out of his leg.
Oh,
Thank God it
Wait.
didn't come out his mouth.
you're not going to walk away from that.
I know.
You're
Yeah,
not
the
going to walk
goalies,
away
man.
from that one.
No.
It all ties back to Alien, doesn't it? Things
It does.
Body.
That's it.
Exactly, that's true.
It's
That's
all
how you're
laced
probably
in.
getting mixed
Ridley
up.
Scott, the whole thing, it's thematically intact, this podcast. Everything for a reason.
It's all
All leads
connected.
back.
That's
All leads back.
That's because it's all scripted, Douglas. It's brilliant,
That's
isn't it?
right, yeah.
Right, so I'm going to tell you what I watched this week. I watched Richard Jewell.
Yeah.
Is he?
He's off.
Why?
Just tell
When
us.
it's my turn to tell you what I watched, he's like, I'm off.
But I like that he waited for you to start.
I know.
You'd already started speaking when you get up.
I know. He'll be secretly watching this from the kitchen. And he'll be like, right, that's him
He will
done.
be,
Right, everyone
yeah.
will go back in.
He's got a mirror angled on his back.
Did you have your finger poised there, Sloane? He's going to go any minute now. Go!
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Thanks, Jodie.
Oh, we're at different positions now.
I know. So,
I can
listen,
reshuffle.
Were you going to get a beer as well, James?
actually, I've
Actually, yeah,
remembered I've got
there.
an opened one pinter.
So
So
he's not
I'll
going to
be
be
fine.
It is a party, remember?
He started doing this bit. He started.
Oh,
I
sorry.
did. So,
Sorry,
This
we'll
is
cut
what-
this bit out.
this is what I watched this week. I watched Richard Jewell. It is Clint
Oh,
Eastwood's
yeah.
latest
Yep.
thing that he wrote and directed.
This is all
Have you
linked.
guys? It is all linked. And I was going to say, I obviously was going to say this. Do you guys know what it's about?
An hour and a
I've read
half.
the review
Yeah,
of
it was like it was like a security guard that lied about something.
Oh no, it's the Atlanta Olympics.
Yep, the bombing at the Olympics.
The
in
guy was the
Atlanta.
security guard was wrongly accused, and it basically
Yeah.
ruined his life. There you go.
Pretty much, yep. So it tells a story of like, it shows you like what he was like when he was younger, where he always wanted to be a cop, and he was just like, he was the kind of like, if he was in your class, he'd be like, "No, teacher, you're doing it wrong. You should do it this way." The kind of guy that perhaps you might not like because he was a bit of a I know everything, you know. And when he got his job, he was a total job's worth, you know, walking around campus and college because he couldn't be a proper police officer, and you can't do this, and technically you can't have someone else in your room. Blah blah blah. Fast forward all these years, it's at the Atlanta Olympics. And there's a suspect package, which everyone's like, shut up, Richard. You know, it's someone's just left their bag. And he was like, no, technically, we should do this and we should cordon off the area. We should push people back.
Right.
And then they couldn't ignore what he was saying because he'd now made such a fuss about it. And if they did, you know, people's heads would have rolled. So they reluctantly called in the bomb squad and they checked it out and it was a bomb and he saved so many people's lives. But that's, if the film's about 2 hours long, that all takes place in the first 15, 20 minutes. And the rest of the film is how he's been wrongly accused of putting the bomb there in the first place. And that's the most interesting stuff. And it's Clint Eastwood wrote it, directed it, and it's just absolutely amazing. You know, it's just
fantastic.
Oh, hold on a second. This is live, and Heidi always waits till we're live. Yeah. What is
I
it?
thought that was
and it's
Jean,
not just-
Jean's.
I can take a drink now.
I know, yeah, and it's not like it's in the middle of one of your things. She's just like, it's live, and it's the middle of Dad's things. So, yes, Heidi, what would you like?
She's got a webcam and she's listening. She's watching this live on YouTube. She's going, "Dad's on now."
What is it?
Sneaking
It
through.
actually came up in mine. When we started live, it came up as a wee notification saying Super Gilly
did it?
Brothers Live.
Hello there.
Heidi's just
Hello
shouted.
there.
She just shouted hello there. Right, go on. Close the door,
I've got
please.
one as well.
Oh, thank you. Good night, Heidi.
Where am I?
We're live. So watch Richard Jewell. It's brilliant, and just make sure. It's
That's on my
Clint
list,
Eastwood.
definitely.
Clint Eastwood classic. It's absolutely amazing. So,
I'm writing that one down, James. I'm going to write that in my list.
aye.
Yeah, that's on my list.
Can you write it down? Can you show it
100%.
to us as well, Douglas, please, just before we go any further? If you've written it down.
How do you spell the second name?
Well, it's like jewellery. Richard Jewell. So it's just Jewell, as in jewellery.
Sounds like you're going to do a trick, James. Can you show it to us,
I
just to the audience?
I had spelt it like Jewel, like the Steven Spielberg film.
I just typed-
right, okay.
There you
Inverted
go.
commas notice
That's it. Yeah, that's fine. No, where are you going to put that note, Douglas? Where are you going?
in my entry right here. Boom.
Lovely. Lovely. Good.
Where are you going to put that note? Is this a trick?
The bin.
I'm lost.
Yeah, in the vertical file.
It's gonna file it here.
So am I going
I'm
to
gonna-
file it up my ass?
The other thing we watch as a family is Gogglebox. I don't know if you guys watch it, but I
I love
absolutely
it. I love it.
It's become
Yeah.
a proper Friday night ritual. We get a Chinese and we sit with Gogglebox, and I just love it. So
Yeah.
So who watches
never
people
used to.
watching Gogglebox?
I don't know, but I think that's something maybe we should do. Perhaps.
It's maybe us.
Well, we're talking about it.
I know it's the
We should do a
meta.
commentary over Gogglebox.
I know.
You know
I
that
just love it.
I kind of went off it for a while when a TV guy told me they get given things to say, right? And I was like, oh no, that's totally ruined it. But it turns out they're not given things to say, like gags or funny things. Sometimes they're paid, that company's paid to boost a program. So, you know, when they do that stuff like, and again, apparently,
Allegedly.
it's not, this is just coming from
God.
bullshit.
There's
You need a little,
coming our way.
graphic for bullshit, Sloane.
Now I remember
I
why
might have
Douglas
one.
wasn't on so much.
But it's
All
legal
this
reasons.
libelous stuff.
But apart, you know, when they're watching
This is the closest I've got.
something, and they're going like that. Oh God, why? And you think they're like, why is she going in that room? Why is she picking this up? And you go, people, why? Nobody watches telly like that every single week. They're kind of helping that show on. You know, it's like an advert.
Yeah, I get that. I get that, and I noticed it
At the end
especially
of the
when they
day, it
started
is
doing like
entertainment, though.
they started doing that with like the Disney Plus stuff. This might not be true. They done it with like when the Mandalorian first came on. They done it with like a lot of the Netflix TV shows because they started saying, "And on Netflix," and that's unusual because you just expect it to be console telly, really. But when they're showing these other things, you know they're getting pushed on.
Aye.
You know,
It's an advert from because it's different.
But we love it. We absolutely love it.
I love it. I love all the comedy bits. I think some of the witticisms are brilliant. I just don't. It's that bit when they're terrified of every little move. Who's that? Why are they doing that? You know.
I know.
Calm down.
I don't want them to calm down. I like them being. It's a Friday night. It's beer, Chinese. I clean up the fish tank on a Friday, and by 9 o'clock we're ready just to.
That's not a euphemism.
So it does sound a little bit like
I know.
I clean out my fish tank. I have a wee look at Henrik Larsson's feet, and boom, Chinese.
So I'll watch that. I mean, that's a religious
Sinewy, aren't they?
See, you know those TV talking about fakes and things like that. You know those TV shows that we're going to get at the end of the year. You know the rundowns, the top fives, and all that. Steady, and they do that thing, the best of the 80s, and they talk about Benny Hill and all that kind of stuff. Do they show them a little clip before they start talking about it? Because they always remember these things, and if that was us on this show, we'd be like, I think his name was Derek. Derek David.
Did he play for
Brian?
Celtic, or was he an alien? What is he? One of those ones.
Was it?
He was either in Celtic or he was an alien.
Yeah, or both. Yeah, because they always seem to know too much.
But what do you? There's one about the noughties on just now, a nostalgia program about the noughties.
Is that?
Wow,
that wasn't that long ago.
BBC Two. Yeah,
sadly.
Yeah, but for some people, that's
ancient history. Yeah.
Crikey. So, and listen, the last thing I've been watching is Discovery. I just watch Star Trek Discovery every week. I watch Mandalorian. It's obvious we all watch Mandalorian, but watch Mandalorian first, but then afterwards I watch Discovery. And Star Trek Discovery is just brilliant.
Actually, Douglas, do you watch
Mandalorian? Actually,
no, I do not, because I don't have Sky Plus because I've got BT.
It's on Disney Plus.
It's Disney
I know,
Plus.
but BT don't have a deal with Disney for an app that would go on my telly.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm waiting on BT making some deal with Disney, which will be something to do with some that I can get it on the telly. I don't want to watch it on a wee screen. I want to watch it properly.
When you watch it, Douglas, you are in for a treat.
So I have we've got just a LCD TV like everybody else, but it's allegedly a smart TV, but it's like 7 years old, I think, so it's not smart anymore. But we've got a little Fire Stick, which is probably going to be about 30 quid, and it gets everything.
Yeah, can you not get it on your Now TV, Douglas?
I have to pay for it. I'm not paying for another streaming service.
Oh, it's another service.
BT and Netflix.
Yeah,
and I've got BT.
What you could do is you could wait for it to all the episodes to be released, and then get the free. Is it a week? Free trial?
Yeah.
And then blast it.
I I can't wait. Honestly, I cannot wait.
It's so good. So good.
You seen any of it? Any of it?
No. Read all about it, know everything about it, but because I didn't have it wasn't like I was gasping for it when they said it was coming on. I did think it was going to be another car crash, but now what year about it? Cannot wait for it.
Well, like Rise of Skywalker.
Further from that, by the way, really couldn't.
Sloane,
That was,
please. Let's not go there this week.
So,
Yeah, so you've done 99 episodes on this.
Can we just leave that film alone for 1 week, please? This is meant to be a happy time. Listen, guys, you guys, you guys don't watch Discovery, right? But it's just gone from season 2 to season 3. They've just been. It used to take place before Kirk. Now it takes place nearly 1,000 years in the future. So Picard's history, like all these things are history, and it's just gone through all that stuff and tying it all together. And it's just.
It's gone into 1,000 years. It's had 1,000
900 years. They jumped 900 years into the future. So the technology's so far ahead. There was a thing 100 years, like 800 years in the future. There was a thing called the burn where everyone lost warp capability. So to warp from one planet to the other is now impossible. So the only planets you deal with are the ones within you can travel to in like sublight speed, and it's just so interesting, and I think it's very good. So anyway, they're the things I've been watching this week.
Cool.
Oh,
Discovery.
Check you out.
What's going on?
You're just writing things down for the sake of it now.
No.
Just
I've
to
got
be
more
polite.
things written down here. More things. Always writing.
Yeah.
Do you know how there's a first world and there's a third world? Do you know what a second world is? Second world country is?
No.
James?
Do you not know either?
I thought
I do know.
just
Yeah, I
asking.
do.
I thought it paused there. No, I thought it paused.
No, it's like a second world country is like North Korea. You know, a kind of communist, kind of oppressed state.
So
Right.
It's a
China,
second world country.
allegedly.
That's very interesting. I didn't know that.
There you go.
Every day's a school day.
Fact.
Grogu.
No spoilers.
No spoilers
That was
apart
for
from the
Douglas.
fact there's.
Yeah, that's not a spoiler.
Yeah, it's a given. We all watched Mando apart from Douglas. So, and we will be talking about it on Thursday next week.
And hey,
I know.
yeah, exactly. If you do want to
Special
join us,
Mando show.
then we will be doing the old Mando.
That's like so that was the angle that's coming in there was the same as the angle in the picture.
Oh, was it? It's kind of funny. Douglas, you want to go next? I'll go last.
So what have we watching this week? We're doing the West Wing from start to finish again.
Oh,
We started on episode 1 on American election night because we'd rather watch that than what was actually happening.
Did you not watch the American election night? It was hilarious.
Well, I couldn't keep away.
Oh,
But-
okay. Yeah.
And I've got to be honest, I am loving it now. I'm loving the American politics now.
Me too.
I'm loving the Huff. The Huff is just fantastic.
Me
It's like
too.
a cosmic Huff. I'm loving Giuliani having some kind of Marx Brothers. He's having like a meltdown on a.
No, he's literally having a
Wasn't
meltdown.
it
Did you
Lev?
see him the other day there with his
Exactly
Lev?
melting.
his hair was melting.
The thing about going to the wrong 4 seasons.
That was brilliant.
I mean, do you remember
that's-
the time they give
that's beyond brilliant. That's
they give-
you couldn't write it.
they gave the press meeting in some car park someplace?
Yeah.
Next to a sex
In
shop.
front of a hardware shop called the
Yeah.
4 Seasons.
That was it,
Instead of
sorry,
the
yeah.
hotel. And
Yeah.
then there's a sex shop and there's some other thing, and they went ahead with it.
Yeah.
But the thing I'm loving about him at the minute is he phoned up when they were talking about these. And again, this is alleged because alleged by the New York Times, so it's got blaming the New York Times. Giuliani asked for one of these he asked for one of these.
We've had to put this up for you, Douglas.
I know.
I want to make this
No one
special.
else has had this.
I've never needed that.
Yeah,
Aye.
but so
This is why
he
you
said-
went on very often.
He said, "Can I get pardoned?" But he hasn't been accused of anything yet.
Yeah.
He's asked for a pardon before he's been accused of something. It's like,
Pre-pardon.
they've all had to say to him, "What have you done?" "Oh, nothing." Well, No, don't worry about it. Just give me the pardon first. Ever the time.
I can understand being pre-approved for a mortgage. That makes sense. But
I
not
barely
pre-approved for a
understood.
pardon. That
So,
seems
but what
weird.
the West Wing is it's amazing. I've been loving that.
I've never watched it.
I've never watched it.
So the Aaron Sorkin
Great.
one I want to watch is Newsroom
It's half good. It's only half good.
because one of the lead characters is called Sloane.
Yeah, I think it might be a woman though. It
is a woman. Yeah, it's played by Olivia
Probably.
Munn. Probably.
More
No, because
attuned
that
to
was a
this.
character. That was Ferris Bueller's girlfriend as well.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Sloane Peterson.
More attuned to this kind of podcast is that before we went to West Wing, I was doing Battlestar Galactica again.
Oh, nice.
Oh
I
yeah,
had
that's
it back
good.
on.
Aye,
It's not
aye.
quite as good as I remembered it.
Hmm.
It's not that it's not aged badly, but it was one of those ones that I loved it first time round, and now I didn't quite see. Do you know, part of the problem was, and it all links in, everyone in this program links in, I was also watching original series Star Trek on Netflix, because they put it on. I hadn't seen those ones where they've jazzed it up. You know, it's all
Aye.
like
Special effects are all cool, yeah.
and the lighting looks amazing.
Yeah.
They've done it up.
Kirkwood.
Yeah,
Stuff.
on Netflix.
It's got computer generated
Yeah.
spaceships and everything.
Aye.
It
No,
looks awesome. Oh, it looks
Aye, it
awesome.
does. It looks
It's a bit when the
honestly-
Galileo comes out and it's just, it's so
But
good.
I
I'm
think
writing that
even the scenes look good because they're
Let me
lit in
see.
this brilliant light.
Yeah.
Jody, let me see. Have you written it down, Jody? Or are you just pretending to write it down? You don't have
You've
a
got a
pencil
red
there,
shirt
do you?
on, Jody.
No, you don't.
yes, I've written it down.
We'll show
This
it.
is why we ask you to show your working.
I know.
Can't show
That's it. You will get 2 points.
My
for
dog
that.
ate it.
But see, the
My
thing
dog
is,
ate it.
see, comparing Battlestar Galactica, which had this kind of it's like they used to say it's West Wing in space. Actually, see, compared to Star Trek, it's not as good. It's the original series Star Trek is dead
Proper
good.
sci-fi.
It is. It
It's
is
good.
good.
Proper sci-fi.
Good. It's great character writing.
Mm.
The relationships between the characters is amazing. It's funny. There's always a fist fight in it. The crowbar, the fist fight in.
Mhm.
But what I love about it is I got into this groove of following it in the writing of it. There's a little rhythm, which is 15 minutes to go. They solve the original premise. But then the last bit, they've got to solve the mess that they've made, solving the premise,
Okay.
which they barely get away with. They by the skin of their teeth. So it always ends, the good episodes end on a kind of, yeah, we won, but at what cost?
Mm.
Mhm.
You know, and you get some crazy lines. Do you know that I was watching the one, you know, it's like Utopia. On this planet, and a plant puts this dust in the air
Yes.
that makes human beings feel bliss.
Mhm.
And Spock is down, and it's a comedy one. And
That's
they have
on
to
me
wait
learns
for
the
them all
harp,
back.
isn't it?
Oh,
Aye,
check
there's the
you out,
heart.
Sloane.
he knows his stuff.
Sloane
Is
knows
it called
He
Amok
knows it.
Time by any chance?
I have no idea. But anyway, the last line of it is Kirk says to Spock, I haven't asked you for your take on it. And Spock says,
No, it's not.
all I know is I've never been happy before and I won't be happy again. And that's the end of the episode. Because
That's
he got to
brilliant.
taste he got to taste human passion. But chemically. So it's about drugs, really. It's about, you know, and a lot of these ones that get the ridicule are handling big issues much better than these.
Agreed.
You know, the racist stuff's really clever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just I was dead impressed, and I've spent a lot of time slagging Sloane off for liking Star Trek so much. So I was doing that with Battlestar Galactica, which was making Battlestar Galactica look a little bit weak. You know,
right? Yeah.
And
they really fought to get Uhuru, didn't they? As the cast, as the kind of main crew member.
And do you know that when they did the cartoon, they did a cartoon of it, which is also on Netflix, and they only wanted Kirk and Spock, and William Shatner signed on, and Leonard Nimoy said the whole point of Star Trek is cultural diversity. That's what it's all about. And he explained that Star Trek, the world has evolved beyond race, and that's why they're all in this together. You know, and he said the cultural diversity comes through Uhura and Mr. Sulu.
Yep.
You know, and if we don't have those two, don't offer it to Scott if you don't want, but you can't do Star Trek without people of colour. And that was like back in the 70s.
I know.
That was happening. And also, they weren't the powerhouse they were. I mean, he didn't have much muscle, artistically and creatively, to do it. But Leonard Nimoy kind of said, "Well, you won't get me if you don't get them." So I think he's he's risen in my estimations. Good documentary about him on Netflix too. I don't know if you've seen that. I Am Spock. Yeah, that's good.
No, I've not seen it.
Thank God. I'm going to go and get a paper and a pen here. This is... I know.
It's got a great bit with George Costanza, Jason Alexander from Seinfeld.
Who's a huge Star Trek fan. Yeah.
He does a Kirk speech exactly note for note like Shatner. And when you see someone else do it, you go, God, that's a really weird delivery for an actor. But another thing watching the original, I was like, he's not bad. I think he's a good actor.
He's a great actor. He gets a lot of bad press.
He gets a lot of bad press, but he is also a Shakespearean actor. It's funny with him and Picard, played by two people that their gig they had just before it was Shakespeare, where they deliver everything with
Shatner.
Yeah.
Shatner
used to play up the road in Stratford. In Stratford in Ontario, where I think Justin Bieber's from, but Stratford's got a big Shakespeare society because Stratford upon Avon, and that was where they used to go every summer, was do Shakespeare in the park in Stratford. And that was
is he Canadian, Sloane?
Yeah.
Shatner Canadian.
Yep.
Because he also he did a play in Edinburgh and won the Fringe first, and all that. So that's what he was doing before.
He does a great take on the national anthem of Canada. And it's all about standing on native ground and stuff. It's really good. It's really funny. Yeah, he's a bit of a national treasure. Yeah.
And for movies, I watched Galaxy Quest tied in, which I love. Yep. The Amy's Game that I was talking about there, Trial of the Chicago 7, which is the Aaron Sorkin.
Oh yeah, that looks excellent.
Yeah, very good.
That looks. Not seen it.
Is that
really
Aaron
good.
Sorkin?
That's Aaron Sorkin now.
Okay.
He tells a story that he went to Steven Spielberg's house on a Saturday morning, and Spielberg said, I want you to write a movie, and I'll direct it about the Chicago 7, 1968, and all the riots and everything. And Aaron Sorkin said, I'm so glad you've asked me to do this. You've given me my passion project, Stephen. Thank you so much. He went out the house, phoned his dad up, and went, what's the Chicago 7? What happened in 1968? He had no idea. He's like, I'm not turning down Steven Spielberg going to do it. And then eventually Spielberg dropped out and said that because Sorkin directs it as well.
All right.
But very some great performances in it, and it's courtroom stuff, so it's a bit like A Few Good. It's not as good as A Few Good Men. But
Sacha Baron Cohen's in it as well.
Very good, isn't he?
Very good.
Doing straight acting.
Did you guys watch Spy? Or is it Spy?
No, I think that's on my list actually as well.
Yeah, you should watch that.
It's not called that over here, is it? It's called something Grimsby.
No.
You're thinking. No, this is a serious thing. It's called Spy. The Brothers Grimsby is a comedy thing.
Right.
You're thinking of something totally different.
The Spy thing is he plays an Israeli who gets sent to Syria. Actually, he gets sent to Buenos Aires to suck up to the Syrian community, and then he goes back to Syria having established himself. So it's like this crazy long game that he spends like 6 years doing, and so he ends up going back to Syria and he befriends like powerful people after powerful people until he's mates with the High Hegian in Syria, and like he gets tours of all these military places. And he's
is this Sacha Baron Cohen?
Yeah. And it's based on a true story.
It's a serious one. It's not a comedy.
It's fantastic.
It's going on a bit of paper.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
At least you've got a bit of paper, Douglas.
Yes, if you have that technology.
At least you're not lying to us.
It's called
Evelyn.
That's my mind that's going.
Hey, what do you...
Hello there.
And the other day we're Tangled with the kids. We were watching that again.
Oh, that's a good film. I like that.
It's okay. And F for Fake I watched with the Orson Welles movie. You know, it's about an art forger. I'm not sure I'm going to say it's dead interesting, but it's a fake documentary about an art forger.
Is that billed as his last movie? Is that billed as his last movie?
Don't know. I'm not entirely sure. It's a wholehearted recommendation. It was one of those ones. See, when I was at uni, I used to love it, and see when you go back to an awful lot of things you liked when you were that age.
Was this an older movie, Douglas?
F for Fake's ancient, aye.
All right, sorry, I'm thinking Orson Welles has got a new thing out, and it's like
that's called The Other Side of the Wind or something like that. That is his last movie. That's right. I've not seen that yet. But I've watched the documentary.
Was that
about
ever released? Or?
No, none of that stuff was ever released all over the place.
Yeah,
so
that's the one I was thinking.
I've been up to.
I was watching a great. I watch all these kind of old interviews, like Oliver Reed and things like that, and it's the Dick Cavett show and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not sure if it was Dick Cavett, but it was. It had Orson Welles and Oliver Reed on, and they were. Sorry, Dick Cavett.
I think it's Cavett.
Yeah.
Is it Cavett, not Cavett?
I think it's
because
Cavett.
I've been to France twice.
Lingo.
I think I'm all kind of whimsical and European. But it's Orson Welles and Oliver Reed talking about when they kind of met, and they're a couple of. I know Oliver Reed was, but
Yeah. That's the other thing I've been doing.
We're quite friendly.
Sky Arts has come on the free telly over here, and so I've never had Sky Arts before. No, it's on Freeview now. So it's just been a million music documentaries and a million all the brilliant. All the South Bank shows are on there. And they're absolutely There's a cracking documentary about Shane MacGowan getting new teeth. Have you watched that yet, Jodie?
Yes, of course I have.
It's so good, isn't it? And at first they're all saying what a great genius he is because he wants really gnarly yellow teeth. But then he doesn't really speak anymore. But then he gets somebody. No, he doesn't. He wants bright, white, shiny Hollywood teeth.
I know. It looks like a guy at a Banana Splits. He's like.
It's fantastic. That's a great documentary. That is brilliant. Yeah, and I was watching Oasis from the Barrowlands was on over the weekend.
Yeah, I know. That's right.
Oh my God, that was unbelievable.
I know. We heard Liam Gallagher's new song.
Yeah.
It's really nice. I really like it.
I think it's all right. It's nice.
I like it.
I've liked both his stuff. Me too. I like both the albums. Maybe the song will grow on me a wee bit.
Going back to the Barrowlands. Have you guys been to the Barrowlands recently, or have you been to the Barrowlands over the years?
Recently, a million times. It's my favourite place to see a band. The Barrowlands, absolutely.
So apparently, years ago, like every decent band that came from the States that wasn't like Prince or Michael Jackson or whatever used to play at the Barrowlands. But they don't do it anymore. But when they used to do it back in the day, they would apparently. This bit might not be true, Sloane. Would just throw people in there, it didn't matter what the numbers were, it didn't matter anything. It was just like ram as many people as you can into the barras. That's these people, that's why these bands got paid. Big bands or reasonable bands got paid big bucks for a reasonably small venue. That's why the barras is so legendary. So Oasis, Eminem,
true.
So now
the levelers in there. There is no way that the capacity was right. That it was
100%
right to the back. It was a mosh, and
for years, recently, maybe over the last 10, 15 years, I was like, why is no one playing at the bars anymore? It's always the Carling Academy or the O2 Academy, obviously the same venue, which is much, much bigger. You were paying the same price for your ticket, but everything was quite rightly spread out a bit more. I mean, you see Limp Bizkit at Carling Academy, but back in those days, they didn't care. They just rammed everyone in.
I also think that Barras is it's got a sprung floor. It's a dance floor, so it really bounces. It's got that curved roof. So if there is nowhere there's a bad. I mean, the Carling Academy has a bad sound sometimes. It gets all echoey. There's no bad place to stand in the Barras. You see everything. You hear everything. Toilets are easy to get. There's bars either side. And the Glaswegians go nuts. Big magic coming venue. Back. Oh, it's a great venue.
You can be up the back of the Barras, get a great view of the band, be uninterrupted by everybody, and you still have a great time.
You feel like you're right there.
Yeah, you feel like you do the same thing the SECC, and it's like, geez, I wish I brought my telescope here.
There's nothing there. I think it's a great sign of age when you get to the top of the stairs at the Barras. Do you turn right to go to the stage, or do you turn left to go to the soundboard? And at one point, maybe about 28. You'd rather have a drink and stand next towards the back so you can actually have a few pints. When you were young, it was get to the front,
I know.
I know.
So you talking about Oasis, being at the bars, that's unsurprising. Legit huge acts who could play stadiums.
That little thing that's on Sky Arts is there when their greatest hits came out. They had one-off gig to do all to make a DVD extra, and they chose the bars, as a place to play. And there's been times where I've been in the bars where I saw David Byrne in there, where he didn't expect it. He didn't expect. He normally plays concert halls and things, and he changed the set list based on the reaction of the audience, because the audience was going mental. And I've also seen bands in there where I went off Ryan Adams because he was drunk and high, and it was a bank holiday weekend, and he just fannied it out, and he didn't play anything anybody knew. And I thought, see if you are duffing up the bars on a Friday night for a bank holiday weekend, out you go. No time for you.
Something wrong.
There's something you don't want it enough.
I think getting into the bars, walking up the stairs, and then it splits and comes back on itself.
Yeah.
And you go up to the top and you can kind of meet in.
Yeah. And it all looks the same. It hasn't changed. The lettering.
I know it hasn't. I went there. Last time I was at the bars was 2 years ago. My friend got us a ticket to go and see. I can't remember the name of the band, but I just remember thinking, I've not been here in about 10 years, and it just brings back so many good memories.
Oh, would it be the Water Boys? Might have been the last time I was there, Jody.
Last time I was there, I think it was the Water Boys. Yeah,
the Water Boys
changed.
It's exactly the same, and that was a cracker because they had captive bodies. But we did the same thing we always do now, and that's another thing.
You can anywhere you stand at the Barrowlands, you can get it's a brilliant view of the band. Or I saw everything in there. Me and Evelyn, and we were up the front, and it was absolutely brilliant, absolutely fantastic. They're a great band. I think that was the most recent one, maybe for me.
Do you think you guys might want to change the name of this podcast to the Barrowlands podcast?
Barrowland Brothers.
Do you want to share some more Barrowland stories, Sloane?
The Barrows.
For anybody that doesn't know, the Barrowlands is one of the premier
that's a good show,
venues in Glasgow, and it's where all the kind of it's a decent sized venue. It's about 2,000 people, maybe something like that.
I don't think it would ever take 2,000 people properly.
It used to be a ballroom.
Yeah,
it used to be a ballroom back in its day, and it's never changed. The decor's the exact same as it was.
Legendary, very iconic. Even the outside of it's iconic in Glasgow, which is the big letters that light up saying Barrowland.
Neon letters and stuff. Yeah,
isn't that where Bible John done some of his stuff?
He loved
his best work.
Yeah, he did some of his best work there. Yeah, he was up there.
That phrasing, Jody.
I think it was because he was such a good dancer that the ladies loved him.
It kills her. Who did you see at the Barrowlands conversation? I saw Bible John in the Barrowlands.
By the way, we missed a trick. We should have called one of our band names Bible John, and then tried to get a gig in the Barrowlands. Damn it!
Dank Farrick.
Dank Farrick.
Dank Farrick.
By the way, see when he says Dank Farrick in that episode, it's brilliant. Actually, feel emotional.
You wouldn't know about this, Douglas, because you've not got Disney Plus. But anyway, it's really funny.
Dank Farrick.
I'll tell you something. That was one of the shows that I should have talked now, or should we just wait until Jody comes back? I swear to God,
it's unbelievable.
I know, he's so selfish.
But it's unbelievable, Sloane. As soon as you did that first few syllables of your opening sentence, boom, he's off.
I'm out. He was like that. He just flung them.
Can you imagine what this is like when it's just the two of us?
So selfish.
What do you have to do? Do you just have to just wait?
I just have to just sit there going,
oh,
there you go.
Well, so the official capacity is around 1,500 people.
Wow.
There you go. So also says
there you go. No, after you.
Right.
I've seen many a band at the Barrows, and only the last 10 years have they started enforcing limits. It used to be crazy, Pat. Exactly.
True.
Yeah, normally what happens is we record this, we don't do it live, but he'll do. So Jody always goes first with what he's doing, and then I'll say, all right, okay, so I watched this week, and he'll go like this. Every single time. Every week, fail.
It's always me with him, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just every week he just goes,
yeah.
Son of a. Anyway.
Don't wait for him, Sloane. Just get going.
So, no, better not. Do you know what I should do? I should replace it with just a tub of lard, like they used to do in the old days. Not the Julie with a tub of lard.
It would be funny if Evelyn went when he was away and changed the clock. So it was like 1:45 in the morning on the clock when he got back. He thought he went through some kind of time tunnel.
Anyway, replace him with a potted plant. So, this week we're watching Mandalorian. Do you guys watch Superstore? So I may as well tell you guys that Judy knows I watch Superstore. So there's this TV show on NBC called Superstore with America Ferrera, who used to be Ugly Betty.
Oh, yeah, Ugly Betty, yeah.
And it's hilarious. It's really funny. It's basically they're set in Walmart. It's not called Walmart. It's called Cloud9. But they work in the supermarket, and the guy, one of the old kids from the Hall guys, is in it as well. He plays the manager. There's a guy from Drop Dead Diva, the Guardian. I don't know if you guys have watched Drop Dead Diva. The Guardian Angel in there. He's in.
Do we look like we'd watch that?
I don't know.
They're real men that look at the guy from Alien's feet and clean out a fish tank, so to speak.
The guy from Alien's feet.
Yeah. I really cleaned out my fish tank on Friday, by the way.
Is Superstore made by the Ugly Betty people, Sloane?
I don't know.
Because I loved Ugly Betty, and I thought it was brilliant.
She's fantastic. Like she was great in Ugly Betty. She's the entire cast is hilarious in this. Not a bad episode have I seen so far. In fact, we got to the end of season 5, and it did the same thing that Amazon does. It just goes, oh, we're giving you the 5 seasons, but we won't bother we'll give you the 4 seasons, but we won't give you 5 and 6. So it's like what? So I ended up buying it on iTunes. Because we're jonesing for season 5. So anyway, so that's what I did this week. As far as TV's concerned, movies, it's Christmas. Don't know if anyone's noticed. It's December 6th.
We put our deckies up this weekend. We normally put our deckies up 2 weeks before Christmas. Or a week before Christmas. That's the rule. But it's 2020. Rules are gone.
There's no
deckies
rules.
Went up the whole thing.
Have you got your decorations went up the last week of November?
And that's not normal.
Yourself?
You don't have tinsel around.
No, I got a guy in to do that. But
did you get a guy in? That's good.
Special guy in.
In a feng shui.
Did they give you an estimate? It's like probably 3 or 4 days. You probably need to.
See, the thing is, right?
Hold on a second.
He's got his iPad out and everything. He's kind of. Aye. This is because my wife is anti-tinsel. There's to be no tinsel. And she does all the decorating. She's all into her Christmas decorations. No tinsel. So in my office here, it's Tinseltown because I want to drag back to the depth of because I think it's snobbery, right? I want to bring her down here because I love tinsel.
Is that what you say to all the staff when you come into your office? My office is Tinseltown.
Douglas, are you wearing?
It's Tinseltown.
Douglas, are you wearing tinsel right now?
I couldn't possibly say. Couldn't possibly give that information. Live.
So every time Caroline wants to come in to your office, you're like,
do not
come in.
Yeah, so Sloane, it's Christmas.
Extras.
It's Christmas, so it's
start
of Christmas movies. So we do the same thing as Judy does. We have a Friday night where we sit and watch movies. So we watch the most Christmas movies of all Christmas movies. Die Hard. So we watch that.
Good to do it early.
Well, there's a ton of them that are really good. And then just afterwards, we decided we'd watch the kids' version of Die Hard. So we watched Home Alone 2, which I think is actually slightly better than
You went for 2 rather than Home Alone 1?
We watched Home Alone the previous week.
They're both good, Douglas.
Yeah. No, I just thought that you were jumping in.
I think we're going to do 1 next week.
Yeah, I would probably avoid 3.
I've never seen it.
I've got a box set. There's 6 movies, I think. 5 or 6.
What?
Hold on a minute.
6 movies?
You're blacking me off for buying the box set of Columbo, and you get a box set of Home Alone when there's only been 2 movies ever made.
I think we just slagged you off at how much you paid for your box set of Columbo.
Yeah,
We don't have a problem with you buying the box set for Columbo. We just have a problem with the price.
Yeah,
mine costs £7.40.
Aye, and how much do you think that's okay?
Yeah,
that's what we've got.
Considering it's on television all the time,
it's not.
Sloane Peterson's got a problem with it as well.
Television. I've got like antenna TV. I don't have. I don't have like Sky or anything like that. Well,
have you just got console telly?
Just get console telly. Aye.
Oh, okay.
Freeview.
Some good Columbo stuff. Good writers. Good directors.
Fantastic. William Shatner's in it as well.
We're not taking away from it.
Listen, you don't need to sell it to me.
Quality.
I know,
right? It's the price of.
And if he is selling it to you, you're not buying it at that price.
At least 30 years old.
It's how you casually dropped in that you bought the box set for, I don't know, 70 Canadian dollars, and you thought
for
that
a
was
steal.
Like, for a steal.
Well,
that's
it. We're looking at one season, and one season is like 6 episodes, and that was like $15, $16. I'm like, I'm not paying $15, $16 for one season. How much is the box set? And it was $74. Oh, that's fine.
74, so it was $4 more.
74 episodes.
That's how they get you, Sloane. That's how they get you.
Oh, not anymore.
One more thing. Would you like this box set of Columbo before I go?
Aye.
That happened to me once, Sloane, by the way. And that happened to me once. That happened to me once. And I was at one of these, it was one of these sale things that the guy's like, sells you. You all turn up. It's an auction thing. You all turn up, and he's like, "Here's an iPad. Here's an iPhone. Here's all these laptops and things like that." And he focused on me, and he's like, "You want that, don't you?" I'm like, "Yes, for £50, yes." And he sold me a surround sound system I didn't want.
Not only that, but it was
you used to say
for £74.
You
said
it was a contract, wasn't it? People were coming up from the audience who taking these iPads, and they were all his pals.
It was a total con. The guy was like before I knew it, I was whipped up into a frenzy and buying a surround sound, thinking I was going there for an iPad for like 80 quid or something.
Did you?
It's lucky that cults can't be bothered coming to
you.
You would be like you would be fodder for that.
Oh, totally. I'm terrible. I'm totally. I'm like Pinocchio,
So what's your next? So Home Alone 2 is next in line for the Christmas movie, Sloane. Yeah.
So I did Home Alone 2. So next would probably
I just seen that on Guile Street on your way to the Barras.
Might be Scrooged actually. The next one.
Yeah.
We don't know yet. But there's a ton to choose from. There's Elf as well.
Yeah, that's part of ours. Do you know the one that's become a family one for us is Polar Express?
Really?
Oh, that is our family one.
And
that's our one.
The animation's not that amazing, but we've just got into the root. It's a family tradition. Elf is as well. Me and Caroline, it's a Wonderful Life. Yeah. The Alistair Sim Christmas Carol and Muppets Christmas Carol. I want to get them done, and I like Die Hard in there too. Just at some stage.
I like the one. I like the Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah.
The new one or the old one?
Both. I like both.
It all ties. How does it all tie in?
It's Dickie Attenborough.
All ties in.
Yeah. Anyway, to ruin my week.
This script is working so well.
Well, I'm about to just throw a span on the works. I saw.
Here we go.
So Sony Pictures, the Columbia, TriStar, those guys. I'm getting the sense that the only decent movie they can release is one that's been got the Marvel seal of approval, because I watched this movie last night called The Shallows with Blake Lively.
I've seen that a few times.
Have you?
I quite like it.
Yeah.
The Shallows.
No.
That's a good film.
That is a good film. The
That
Shaft.
is a good first. That is a
Yeah.
proper, like, we're at the point in our family's kind of life that we can watch that film and it's good to watch. It's just like we want a substitute for Jaws because that's all I ever actually really want to watch. But that is a good substitute.
You didn't like it?
Yes, I didn't like it.
Why am I not surprised? Ever the elitist.
Why did you not like?
Was it not realistic enough?
It was basically 127 hours, but it was on a rock in the middle of a bay instead of being stuck in a canyon. Prove me I'm wrong.
But what? But why is that? Why is that unenjoyable?
I to be honest, I don't. So Sam watches all these Gossip Girls, XOXO things, and Blake Lively's in it, and she plays this character Vander Hubenfluben or whatever, I don't know what her surname is, and she's from the Upper East Side, and she's a bit of she's a bit toffee nose and all that kind of stuff. So the guys at the start of this movie, the guy, the sniper from Cougar from The Losers, is driving her down this road to go to her mum's beach, and she never finds out the name of it. And I'm turning to Sam and I'm going,
Shark Beach,
which is the Beach of the Dead. Anyway, and she's on her phone and she's just flicking through her phone, and he's going, and there's a tree, and there's a rock, and there's a sky, and she's going, yep, And I'm like, I don't like this character. I hope she gets eaten by the shark, and she doesn't. And it really.
I think the reason why she was on her phone was to show her connection to her family.
I know, but it was just another sloppy
Straight
device.
away, we're out. Basically,
I was out. Yeah, basically, I was out.
Also, like that's also quite an early way of, you know how like we're used to looking at our phones, but it's hard for us as an audience to watch someone on television looking at their phones. So they showed a lot of her graphics on her phone silhouetted onto, on the screen, and it was an early version of that, and I quite like that.
I thought it was actually more so that she was kind of disconnected from just being a bit of a bitch and not speaking to him, and being on her phone like a bit of a dick,
I think she was meant to be a dick.
Yeah.
I think she was, and I think
enjoyed that film. I actually think it's probably the best shark film. I know we're not all, it's good to have different opinions and things.
Oh, I would love it if you said best shark film ever.
No, he wouldn't say that.
I thought it was so good. I thought it was.
It's the shark film. It was all the best shark films must be measured against.
It was the best shark film since the original Jaws.
Definitely. I would say so. Sloane, I think you should revisit that. I think
up there as well.
No, I thought The Meg was better.
The Meg, actually, second time round was okay. Yeah.
Second time round on The Meg?
How's that second time round in Shallows?
You didn't see that in the pictures, Douglas. You didn't see The Meg in the pictures.
Yeah,
Meg's a good show.
I can imagine that. That's a good popcorn movie, isn't it?
Meg, yeah. I mean, it's Jason Statham and a Jason Statham film directed by Jason Statham. But it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I know.
Jason Statham is.
You didn't like The Shallows then? You didn't like it?
I'm not a fan. Yeah. Not every movie is for everybody.
Write that down, James.
I'm not writing that down.
Cross it out.
Yeah.
Cross it out.
I didn't like it.
Don't want to bring the pencil out.
I'm amazed that people have seen it, to be honest.
The Shallows, it was no Last Jedi.
There's your poster quote.
It was better than Rise of Skywalker. At least I made it through it without going, oh.
Right, anyway, let's move on.
Yeah. Okay. What's next? Douglas, you said there was a quiz. Did you want to do the quiz?
No, I've told you already. There's no quiz.
You already said there was a quiz.
That's not. I haven't got a quiz. I could make up. There's not a quiz. I did.
Put him on the spot.
Top fives and things like that. But I don't have.
We need to wait and Jody's got to do his top 5 last because he hasn't actually written it yet.
I tell you something, it exposed a lot to me. I
all
haven't
up here,
seen very
mate.
many films that were released this year. I'm
No,
hoping
it's
you.
top 5 anything.
No, it's just a
Well,
top
here's
5
a-
random, whatever.
But here's a random
Could be
top 5.
top 5 albums you've heard.
Right, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a top 5 on a theme that Sloane's come up that I think about quite a lot. It's a genre of film I love, which is.
Are we starting our
films-
top fives?
Yeah.
Is this your top 5, Douglas?
I will give you this as my top 5.
All right.
Go for it.
Okay.
Are we happy
Okay.
to do that?
Sure.
Are we going top
Right,
5?
okay, James.
All right. So we're starting. I'm ready. Oh, hold on a second.
All right.
Hold on, let me get ready. Hold
My,
on.
Are we doing one top 5 each then?
so why don't
Yes.
we could do a top 5 and then people could chip in things that have been forgotten by other people. You know, we could say, if it was me, what about that? What about this? What about that?
That's fair
What
enough.
about this? So my top 5 was films that are set in the snow but aren't Christmassy.
Well, I like
And
it.
that's like
I like that.
that is a genre of film I love. Do you want to hear my top 5?
Aye.
Yes.
Right. Number 5, Die Hard 2.
Right.
Number 4, The Thing.
Uh-huh.
Brilliant.
Number
Brilliant film.
3, Planes, Trains and Automobiles.
Yep.
Mhm.
Number 2, Groundhog Day. And number 1, can anyone guess what number 1 would be?
Last
Frozen.
Jedi.
No,
Empire Strikes
no,
Back.
Empire.
no.
Batman Returns.
Snowpiercer.
I completely forgot about Batman. Fargo.
Ah, yeah,
Aye.
that's a good one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cliffhanger
But
you
I
could have
thought-
had as well.
Because I was
No.
thinking, I wrote down Empire Strikes Back. Does it fit the genre? Because it's only the first bit that's in the snow.
Yeah.
Or has it got to be full snow?
I don't
Full
know.
on snow?
Full on snow.
I was going to say I don't make the rules, but I suppose
It's
in
your
this
rules.
case I
There's
kind of
no
do
rules.
make the rules.
Okay.
Well, you do for your top 5.
So are there any other films? Because I love films in snow. I think just putting snow in films makes them better.
I've got one for you.
Rocky 4?
No.
No.
Fighting. It doesn't fight in the rain and snow.
No, but he's in the snow training. He's
I've got a
montage.
good one
That
for you.
film is a
I mean,
film.
There might be snow in Rocky 1. I think there's snow in Rocky 1 when he's.
Oh,
Yeah,
you,
still-
I think you're right. Yeah,
Where,
you're right.
where he
yeah.
goes there.
Oh yeah, I
Philadelphia.
love where he was there.
His
Yeah,
balls all going
yeah, that's a
down
good
the
one.
wall.
The
The Shining.
There was a good one.
Shining.
The Shining, yes. Of
Good
course.
call.
Of course.
In fact, snow
A
is the
film with-
kind of other character, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mads Mikkelsen is in a movie where he crash lands in snow and has to survive. In fact, Alive.
Wait a
Remember
minute.
that one?
Live.
Is he not the guy
Animals.
that gets shin taken out in him in Leon?
Henrik Lars.
Man,
Honestly, I have a real bad thing with that.
And
Real
Mm.
blindness.
there was quite a good one that was I think it might have been Billy Bob Thornton, where there's a kind of bag
That's
of money. It's a Christmas
Oh
film.
yeah, I remember that. And John
There's a-
Cusack.
Yeah, it's something like A Simple Plan or Best Laid Plans or
Aye.
something.
A Simple Plan. Mm-hmm.
And they're
That's
out
right.
in the middle of the snow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that at all.
Any other snowy films?
The Ref.
The what?
The
The
Revenant.
Ref.
Ref.
The Ref. It's Kevin Spacey. Her that's in. She plays Nurse Betty, I think it is in Ratched.
Oh yeah,
Judy Davis.
Sarah Paulson. No.
No, Judy Davis. It's the
Right.
other one.
Right.
And Dennis Leary. And it's filmed just down the road in Niagara-on-the-Lake. And it's about
Judy
this
Davis was.
burglar who breaks into this house and he disturbs this couple who are basically going through a divorce right now.
Mm.
And so it becomes like the marriage counselor for them while they're having this sort of bit there. But yeah, it's set around about this time of year, Christmas time.
I'm sure there's been quite a few Bond films that have feature snow
Yes,
heavily.
you're quite right.
Yeah.
For Your Eyes Only's got a skiing bit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sure there's kind of a what do you call the sleds, the power sleds.
Yeah.
Quite
Snowmobile
a few
things.
snowmobiles,
Yeah.
chases and stuff like that.
I like a bit of skiing in a Bond film. But it's
Mhm.
funny
Oh, me
because
too.
some of those films are on that wee list. Fargo's one of my all-time favourites, and Groundhog Day is one of my all-time favourites. But I love that movie. I think the older I get, the more I like Groundhog Day, just for how clever it is and how brilliantly written it is.
Yeah.
And
That Harold Ramis film.
Yeah.
He fell out with Bill Murray, didn't he?
Did he?
Before he died.
Yep. No, they patched up before he died.
Did they? I think that's one of the reasons why they never did Ghostbusters 3.
Probably.
Because they had a big fallout. They couldn't have done it without.
Well,
Peter
we've
Jackson.
still got to see Ghostbusters 3.
What was the
It's
fallout
sitting
about?
there all done.
I know. Well, about what? Sorry, Douglas.
What was the fallout about?
Groundhog Day.
I'm not sure. Don't know. I think it happened on the set, didn't it? Of Groundhog Day. Yeah. They fell out.
Do you know what's quite interesting? Actually, like all these films that were meant to have come out, like Wonder Woman and Ghostbusters and stuff, and
they'll all come to streaming, by the way. Every single one.
Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
You start to see the Black Widow Lego toys. I've started to see them like a couple of months ago in the Lego shop.
Ghostbusters as well, Lego toys.
Ghostbusters Lego toys, and
Seen
I've started
them.
to see the Wonder Woman stuff. So all the companies are just sitting there with that stuff, and it's just like we're just going to have to just release it. And as opposed to it being spoilers, it's toilers. You walk into a toy shop, you see a set,
That's
getting
good.
toiled.
Yeah.
Wait a minute,
Yeah.
James, did you make that up?
No,
Is that
toilers
your
is a
phrase?
thing. No, toilers is a thing. It's a
That's
Kevin Smith.
brilliant.
It's a Kevin Smith thing.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Oh, yes.
Hey, you
mine.
good?
Did you watch The Toys That Made Us, that series?
Aye.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
I love that show. And
It's
wonder-
really good.
you
Really.
thought, why are
really
people
good.
getting so serious about this until the numbers come in at the back end and you realise, yeah, that made us like 2.3 billion.
I
You're
know.
like, what? A billion? It's making more
know.
than the films, making more than the TV things added together.
Cars
Yeah.
is
I know.
the best example of that.
Yeah.
Of how much money they would
Really?
make off the merchandise cars. Yeah.
Yeah.
The amount of money, the amount of cars they can actually make and ship out and sell for a premium Disney price is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one about He-Man was dead good. It was dead funny.
I've not seen them all.
They're trying to.
He-Man's great.
But they're trying to kind of. It was invented as a toy, so it all gets backwards. When we were wee,
I was going to say
started
that.
making the toys
Mhm.
first, and then make the
Mhm.
programs to sell the toys, and that kind of flipped
Mhm.
round, and it was all kind of bolted together from all these different things. Dead good.
It's really good. Good documentary. They did I think those same guys did the video game thing, didn't they?
They're
It's got a
doing.
similar look to it.
They did movies that made us.
Oh no, they
and
did
all-
movies that made us. That was it. That was good as well.
Those
They did
Christmas movies
Ghostbusters and Home Alone. Yeah,
Right.
They were really good.
Right. Who wants to go next for their potluck?
I'll go next if that's all right. So my top 5 will be the top 5 chases in science fiction.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
That's good. Jodie?
right, good.
All right, so 5, and I think this has got the one I'm about to talk about has got high potential to be maybe the top 2 in the future. Once I've seen it a few more times, is Tenet. I don't know if anyone's seen Tenet.
I haven't
Chris
seen it.
Nolan's
Yeah, I've
movie,
seen it.
but the chase on the highway as time
backwards
goes backwards, the backwards chase is just, you think the chase from Matrix Reloaded is good and it's brilliant and it's exciting, but the whole thought process behind the backwards chase in Tenet is unbelievable. It's so very good, and
That movie is such a mind melt.
it is. So
Man.
number 5 is Tenet because it's just an amazing film. I don't fully understand it. I don't fully understand the chase.
No.
But when you see the chase from one perspective and then you see it from the next perspective, it's very, very cool. A good chase. So that's number 5. Number 4 is, and I remember how I felt when I first seen this in Jurassic Park, where the Jeep's taken off and the T-Rex is running behind them. and it's the pouring rain, and it's reeks of Steven Spielberg, and it's just
It's a great
absolutely
film. I really
fantastic.
enjoyed it.
And
Brilliant.
what is it? It's a Ford Explorer. It's like it's green and it's yellow and it's pouring with rain and it's so dark. And I want to say this Thunder and Lightning.
Was it a Land Rover? Not a Land Rover.
No, it's an.
Is it?
It's a Ford Explorer.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, and the T-Rex is just.
It's a Toyota Land Cruiser in the book.
Oh my god!
Oh,
You deserve that. You deserve that little nudge there.
Sloane's going deep cut here.
He's gone proper deep
He's
cut
gone
Michael
proper.
Crichton.
Oh wow!
So I
That was
love
a
that
good one,
chase. I
Sloane.
remember an actual proper cinema moment. I mean, if you were, I don't know if you remember going to see it, but just seeing that bit.
I do
And
very
the
much. so.
T-Rex.
Oh, I totally remember going to see it.
It's probably the first T-Rex we've seen on screen that actually you could imagine being real.
Yeah.
So
I
brilliant chase.
take my mum.
PlayStation demo.
I take my mum to see that movie. Were you there as well, Sloane? Did we both take her
No,
to see that film?
Jurassic Park. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I took her to see it. It was the last movie she saw in the pictures, I think, and she was just
Blown away. Yeah.
teary.
Yeah.
Teary,
Funny,
when you see the
I went
dinosaurs
to
for
see
the
it with
first
my
time, you know, it's
family.
like,
And we didn't go to the cinema at that stage altogether, but for that film we did, because it was
yeah,
unbelievable. And also, I think the decision to make you wait for them is a good one. That when they stopped doing that, those films started to fizzle away. The suspense of waiting to see those things, and then when you do see them, that was the proper storytelling, and they kind of gave into it a little bit with the sequels. Although I do like the new ones. I like one of the new ones.
yeah, me too. Yeah,
They're okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But it was an amazing cinematic experience, wasn't it?
Aye, totally. It totally was. So 5 is Tenet, 4 is the Jurassic Park T-Rex. 3 is Mad Max Fury Road, which is just basically most of the film is just one big chase.
The bad guy in that, he died recently.
He did. I think that's maybe why it's fondly hijacked halfway up my list.
Yeah.
But I just remember myself and Gillian went to see it in the pictures, and we just like, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, she had Mad Max ties, you know, when it first came out on, you know, when they rented it from the VHS. And then I remember seeing it as a kid, and then we watched that as soon as it came out on Blu-ray. We bought it on Blu-ray 3D, and it's something. It's not as, we wouldn't play it as much as Jaws, but it's one of those films you can just, do you know what? It's just basically one big long car chase. So it's one of those things you can just stick on. So I think Mad Max Fury Road is worthy of being in my top 5.
Yeah.
So I've stuck it at number 3.
So the guy that made Shaun of the Dead, and what's that guy called?
Simon Pegg.
No, the director.
Oh,
Edgar Wright.
Edgar. So
Wright,
so he did that documentary on BBC4 when they meet the directors and they pick their favourite bits of movies to talk about. And he picked that. He picked the chase, the central bit when they put, you know, when it flies over like that. There's a guy on the edge of that slingshot thing. And he said that when the professional directors saw that movie, they were coming out of it going, he has done something they didn't know how he was doing it in the edit. And they're going, he said, you really have to be a technician to be working in this industry to know how different that is. You know, and he talked through one wee tiny bit and going, look what he's showing you and what he's not showing you, and how small these things are and how long he'll stay on one shot. You know, and he was saying this.
I've not seen that.
Oh, it's dead good. It might be still an iPlayer. It's a BBC thing.
I'll need to look it up.
Life Cinematics, the series, where they get a director in to talk. It was Sofia Coppola this week, where they talk about their favorite films.
Okay.
Hold on a second. I'm just going to write that down.
You see when you're talking about Edgar Wright there. His movie Baby Driver does some really cool cuts and single
not a sci-fi
shots. Very clever stuff.
It gets a wee bit migrainey for me, Baby Driver. It's a bit much. I kind of want it to calm down a little bit.
Yeah,
but still good.
So number 2 in my list is the trench run from A New Hope.
Yeah.
It's just Vader chasing Luke, or just everyone chasing everyone at the Battle of Yavin. But yeah, I think specifically, you've got Luke in there, and he's just doubting himself, and Wedge has to pull out. He loses Biggs. Vader's on his tail, and you just think it's all over, and people are quizzing him why he's turned off his targeting computer.
Mm-hmm.
And he puts it away, and it's just like, oh, what's wrong? Nothing. I'm all right. And then R2 gets basically killed. At that point, you think he's dead, and then Han appears, and it's just absolutely amazing.
It's the greatest bit of storytelling. Solo comes back is my favourite bit of storytelling. You
don't expect it.
We will never get it again. The first time we saw Star Wars, and you can't believe he's going. He was by miles your favourite. It's not just because you don't want him to go because of Luke. You don't want him out the film.
I know.
Don't go. Mm-hmm. We like you the best.
Douglas, I think as kids we all believed he was leaving.
I know. Yeah. But we'll never get that 100%. Feeling again. That we know that, that feeling of, and they don't even really make that big a deal of it in the film. He's just there. They don't do a big build up. They don't do a kind of big swell and a wonderful thing. He's there.
You just think Han Solo's got his own problems. Like, he's not going to do this, and he's going, and that's it. And I felt like deflated at the time.
It's so beautiful because he does that, but we're not finished. Luke has to do his thing, which can only be done via the Force. And you've got the kind of human side, which is Solo, and then this other supernatural side. It's both those things coming together. It's an amazing little bit. They've never been able to match that because nobody's been able to match that.
No one.
No other film's got that bit in it.
I'd say, I have to say, the closest I think to having that Han Solo Returns bit is in Jurassic World, where Blue the Raptor comes back in at the very, very end and helps Chris Owen. Is it Chris Owen's character? I can't remember what his name is.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt, sorry. Not Chris Owens. I don't know who Chris Owens is at this point. I'm so drunk.
He was in that film Scott directed. It was Scott directed it. Henrik Larsson was in it, and Chris Owens, and they were amazing.
And it was filmed at Parkhead. But when the Blue Raptor came in at the very end, I thought that was a bit of a Han Solo thing. But anyway, I'm going to get to my number one. Right. My number one sci-fi.
Please do, because I'm about to pee in a bucket.
I'm about to. Please don't go there, because you're really selfish, Jody. It seems all these podcasts are about you.
Do you want to see a grown man pee himself?
I'm going to go with the in Terminator 2 when Arnie drives that truck. No, sorry, not Arnie. The T-1000 drives the truck over the bridge. Onto that kind of, it's like must be a spillway. And John Connor's riding down there, and and Arnie ends up picking him up, and it's just amazing. I remember seeing it and just thinking, this is utterly amazing, and I cannot believe that
Jody's on.
He is so selfish, but I mean, that was a practical effect. There was nothing. I mean, they used CGI in that, obviously, but that was a practical effect. They actually got that tow truck and jumped it off that bridge and landed it. And it's just brilliant. And that was just, I think that if you're looking at sci-fi chases, if you're looking at chases in general, that is a brilliant chase.
Yeah. Do you think that's the reason why chases aren't as good these days, is because they rely too much on CGI, and so you don't get that peril?
I think definitely. If you look at the French Connection car chase in the French Connection, and where they are just missing, this is timed. You've got Formula One level drivers just missing each other, and your heart goes. We can tell the difference between real and created, and it's like. Before we have it, I think we're going to have a toilet break. It feels like that's on the rise. I'm going to chuck in 2 to this. Deckard in Blade Runner chasing Daryl Hannah, I think it might all come round. Is Daryl Hannah?
Another one.
No, it's not. It's her from...
Cassidy. What's her name?
Yeah, it's
yeah,
rough.
the replicant in the dance thing with the
and
snake.
she
That
ends
bit
up
is
going,
awesome.
chases her through the city, and she ends up crashing through these panes of glass
Yeah.
in a really slow-mo way, beautiful way. And I also love the speeder bikes, Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
Oh,
When when I love the it's kind of not thought out. They just have to go. And then it goes through that.
that's a good chase.
And because in the cinema as well,
chase.
with those big trees,
Yeah.
I mean, now you can tell, but at the time it just looked amazing. And it's got some of it looks sore. There's stuntmen flying back and flying
trees.
down the back, and boom.
Yeah.
And that's a good.
That is a great chase.
I know it's not science fiction, but not the mine car sequence from Temple of Doom, no.
Has it got to be science fiction chases?
Pop culture. I said sci-fi chase, but I think pop culture chase.
They were all sci-fi, so
Because I love Apocalypto, because that's a chase movie.
Oh man, that whole film's a chase.
Yeah,
I love that
film
film
so much. Oh man, so good.
You can't talk about what happens at the end, but it is one of the biggest. You wouldn't even call it a twist, but the thing that happens at the end of Apocalypse.
That's brilliant.
What? Amazing.
If Mel Gibson done one good thing, it's that.
Yeah. By the way,
he's done some good. I think he's done some good things. I think he's a mess of a human being, but
I think. But he's as a director, he's utterly fantastic. I think. I don't think he's done.
I liked him as an actor as well. I liked him as an actor.
I don't think he's put a foot wrong as a director. Obviously, in life he has, but
as a human being, he's put a few foot wrong.
As a human being,
feet wrong.
But as a director, and you've got to have some sort of humanity about you to be a director, surely.
Apparently not.
And self-awareness. But no, I'm not being judgy. But he's done some cracking films. My God,
that was a good top 5. I'm going to nip to the loo if that's okay and get another beer.
I'm going to go and do that too.
All right.
Oh my God, it's just me and you, Sloane. It's just
like old times.
Normal Sunday. It's just like old times. Now, I don't know if you want to go next or should I go next?
I might nip to the washroom first.
Well, I'm left myself.
Oh, not right now. I can't leave you by yourself because you'll self-harm. It's that bit in Scanners and the guy's head explodes.
Exactly.
Garth.
Pretty much. Oh my God.
So we'll do the. So do you want to go after? Do you want to you do that and I'll do the next thing now.
I'll do mine, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right, okay, that's fine, and then we'll end it because we're at 1 hour and 47 minutes into it just now. But
I've changed my mind what I'm doing though.
Okay.
I know we've gone very long.
I don't know if anyone else agrees with me, but I thought we've had an interesting conversation. It's been an enjoyable show so far.
Well, we've enjoyed it. I don't know about anybody else.
Just wait until my top 5 comes up, and then everyone will be like, "What is this guy talking about?"
Controversial.
Top 5 Star Trek Next Generation episodes. What was he thinking? How can you end a show?
Don't say that. Don't even joke about that. My top 500 episodes.
My top 5 seasons by episode order.
I will leave. I'm telling you now.
Right. Okay, but you have to watch. You have to watch season 3 in the following order: episodes 3, 4, 5, 1.
That sounds like Star Wars. You have to watch the Clone Wars episode 5 to realize that what happened was that Mas Kanata was actually involved in.
You mean Orange Yoda?
Windu's death because Orange Yoda, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How did she get? Okay, this has never been explained. How did she get Luke's lightsaber? Because
exactly. And I'll tell you what, none of the stuff that was used. none of the stuff that was built in Force Awakens got addressed. None of
Also,
it.
did you know on the bottom? Here's a nerd thing for you. Did you know on the bottom of Luke's lightsaber it says quite clearly New York?
I did know that, yeah.
Because the flash, yeah, because the thing that they use for the base is a flash holder thing, and it was made by a company from
The
I think it's
manufacturer.
Rochester in New York State. So it says New York at the bottom of it. There you go.
I've always liked that they did a kind of manual turn. You know, you point it at the camera and then turn it away so it looks like it's getting bigger. You can see them.
Still talking about lightsabers.
Yeah. Listen, there's no turning when the camera's making that bigger, Jody.
Douglas is doing a manual turn.
Trying to make it bigger, it's not working. Yeah, you see them. So they would have those little white,
sticks,
the little white thick sticks they were using for it. But they would point it. So for the scene, they'd point it at the camera. I can't do this.
Do the manual turn procedure,
and then turn it. Whoop.
Oh, to turn it on. All right, okay.
It was going to go up because they didn't know if they were going to get that effect.
Right. You need to be closer to the camera.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
The closer you are.
Until eventually,
you're going to poke my head with that thing. See the next time we do a 3D episode, James. This will be great. Right, so
hold on a second. Hold on a second before you do.
Yes.
Oh, now you're talking. For God's sake.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Top 5 Space 1999 episodes. No, I'm looking.
Right, I'm going to do my top 5.
Right.
I'm going to do a top 5 Martin Scorsese movies.
Oh,
nice.
Hold on a second.
I'm not going to agree with you unless it better be the number 1 movie that I think it is going to be.
I'm ready.
Right, okay.
Go for Tony.
Number 5 is New York.
What?
The Robert De Niro.
That made top 5.
Oh, absolutely. I love that film. That was almost top 3.
Wow, that's news.
I love that film.
Yeah.
It's Robert De Niro. It's Liza Minnelli. It's a musical. It's a comedy. It's pure high Hollywood in the heyday type production.
Yep.
My mum bought me that movie on video VHS.
Okay.
Because she knew I loved Martin Scorsese, and I was like, I love Martin Scorsese, and you picked this one for me, kind of thing. Not even, I'd seen it. I think I knew that he'd made it, kind of thing, but it was like way down my list for watching. And I watched it, and I was like, my God, I love that film. And it shows off Robert De Niro's comedy chops big time in it as well. If you
There's
remember.
a Scorsese movie. Okay.
Anyway, so number 4 is After Hours with
You are bumping, Jody. You are bumping some big names off this top 5.
Griffin Dunn.
This really puts The Shallows review into perspective.
Does it really?
I mean, it's
Griffin Dunn.
Bold choice move. Bold choice, Cotton. Let's see how this plays out.
Griffin Dunn and the girl from Young Frankenstein.
Terry Garr.
Oh no, it's not Terry Garr. Yeah, it is Young Frankenstein, and he's going on a date, and he loses money, and he loses the things, and things go wrong.
What was that phrase we used to have, Douglas? He's good.
That film, Douglas.
Good.
I'm surprised at you.
Griffin Dunn good. And Griffin Dunn's popped back up because he's in a thing I watched called This Is Us.
Yes.
Really?
American TV, and he's in that, and he's good in that.
This Is Us. I watched that. Is that Tom Hanks' son's in it?
No, that's Life in Pieces.
Yeah.
That's CBS's version of
All right, so that's, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, right, now we're getting to the meat and potatoes.
Are we? I can't wait to see
I
this.
am going.
Rolling Stones
I'm going.
documentary.
I'm going Wolf in Wall Street.
All right, okay.
Mm.
That's the third one. All right, okay.
That's good, actually. I'm making my own wee mini list here. I'm bumping something off and putting Wolf of Wall Street on it.
Right, okay. All right. I've been intrigued to hear the ones I've missed, actually.
But that film,
Don't put silence in.
I had drifted away from Scorsese a wee bit, and then Wolf of Wall Street came along and just blew me away.
Oh, completely zapped me back in. 100%.
Unbelievable.
Love it. Love that film. And Leo DiCaprio is fantastic, you know, and he seems to be his new De Niro, doesn't he? He's been in Shutter Island, Aviator, you know, cracking. Love that film. Very funny film as well. One of his, you know, it's almost like a comedy. Wolf of Wall Street.
Shout out to Jonah Hill as well, because
he's great in it. He dropped his fee, didn't he, to be in that movie?
Did he?
So he did. He's not.
He dropped his trousers at one bit.
He dropped his trousers.
That was
a couple of bits, I think.
Isn't Margot Robbie in that film?
She is. Margot.
Are you having a laugh?
Okay.
That's James's version of rubbing his knees.
Rubbing his knees.
Bye.
I've only seen a man make that face looking at Henrik Larsson's feet. Cleaning his fish tank. That's a fish tank face.
Well, cleaning it inside his fish tank, cleaning it. Well, sleeping photograph. Anyway,
I think she could clean a good. I think she'd be good at cleaning a good fish tank out.
I think she would be out. You're right. Yeah, clean it right out.
My is really sore.
Serves you right.
What number are you at now, Jody?
Number
2.
Number 2 now, and I'm going Goodfellas. Obviously, I'm not saying obviously because you guys are so far going what? Goodfellas is number 2. Yeah, De Niro, classic, gangster, Pesci. Love it. I know I've missed out Raging Bull. Damn it.
And Cape
Raging Bull. Can I put Raging Bull level pegging number 2?
No. Well, in that case, you don't have a number 1.
I do. Yeah. Anyway, Goodfellas. Goodfellas is my number 2. My number 1. I'm surprised you don't know what my number 1 is. It's Taxi Driver. De Niro.
Yeah. Okay.
Harvey Keitel. Scorsese. Number 1. It's brilliant. Okay. Totally influential. Influenced the Joker.
Otherwise known as the Joker.
Big time.
There's another movie that's not in top 5 that did. King of Comedy.
Well, that's not in my top 5.
I know it's not your top 5, but it's the one that influenced.
If you're looking for an influence.
Oh yeah, the influence. Yeah.
I think it's funny, Sloane. All the reviews said that it was Taxi Driver. It was a riff on, but I agree with you. It's more King of Comedy.
It's 100%
King of Comedy.
The same. It's almost exactly the same beats. It's almost exactly the same ending as well.
I said to Evelyn, you've no idea how much I like this is the King of Comedy, and we watched the King of Comedy, and Evelyn was like, "Oh my god, I cannot believe it! It is exactly the same. Joker is the exact same."
God, it's a painful film, King of Comedy, isn't it? It's so painful.
Do you know what?
When he comes up in his house,
cringy stuff.
Oh god,
it's brilliant.
Goodfellas is my number 1, probably number 1 movie of all time ever. I love Goodfellas. I think it's just beautifully shot, brilliantly acted, amazing. My number 2 Scorsese movie though is King of Comedy. I've watched that movie I don't know how many times. It's so good.
It used to be a really hard one to get. On
totally,
VHS,
really difficult.
I remember.
Yeah.
You get it in Google. It's $50. Oh my god.
It was like I know you can get it now, but back in the 90s, it was really hard to get. And
I watched a lot of those Scorsese movies.
Until...
I watched a lot of those Scorsese movies in your bedroom, Jodie. Don't know where you were. I would just climb in, watch, get the videos out. But we would watch a lot of those films together. New York, all those ones you had.
We did. Well, you were at Stirling Uni.
Yeah.
And you seemed to be off forever over Christmas.
With American holidays,
in January or something.
Yeah.
So we did these mad movie marathons, didn't we? And we watched Woody Allen movies, and we would do these things.
That's making it sound very arty, James. What the one we would go to the video shop in Girvan, which was at that point was just one, and we would try and have like a film festival. So we did a Nick Cage season before he'd actually made any good films.
The ones that went straight to video.
Zanla D and Time to Kill.
Oh man!
But we also did like Billy Crystal one. We did
what?
We watched 4 Billy Crystal films back to back. That's like 8 hours of Billy Crystal. Nobody's ever done that.
No, not even
Billy.
Unheard of. No. We were pioneers, essentially.
Nothing.
No.
I think
so
I'd like to address the Kelly brothers right on this one episode on the 2-hour mark, right?
Yeah.
I think this is born. I'm getting an insight through Douglas. What you guys were like as kids and where this comes from. If you're willing to watch, how many films, Douglas? How many Billy Crystal films?
At least 4. I mean, it might even be more.
8 hours worth of Billy Crystal films. This is where this episode, this whole thing comes from.
Sometimes I'd go into your house and we'd watch a Scorsese movie like 4 in the afternoon or something. It was like we had nothing else to do.
No.
One of the great joys of growing up in Girvan.
We'd
challenged you.
We'd critique it and make notes.
Watch Dreams, and so there's like 8 or 9 of us in your living room, Douglas.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
And the lights go up, and we're all like clearing our eyes, and this wee voice in the corner, Jodie, that never happened.
I did it for effect though, because I quite liked it, because I knew they all loved it, and they put it on because they thought, he'll love it as well, kind of thing. So I was like, at the end of this, I am going to go, that was shite, whether I liked it or not.
Isn't it a thing though?
For the record, I didn't like it. But anyway,
I'm not sure I've grown out of that feeling when somebody says you're going to love this is for you. You're going to love this.
I know.
A little bit. You go. I'm deliberately not.
I'm never going to like it.
I know.
Douglas, you hit the nail right in the head. That is the reason why I refuse point blank to watch Breaking Bad.
Really? You're missing it. You're missing it.
Because everybody says you're missing it in great TV. I'm not.
And Game of Thrones.
If someone said to me, I'm never going to watch, if I said to them, I'm never going to watch Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad, and they said, fair enough, I'd be more inclined to watch it.
Yeah, but they always say what I've just said.
They just said, you're missing out.
You're missing out at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I just think, well, forget you. That's exactly my thoughts. Forget this and forget you.
That's exactly it, word for word.
Exactly. CeeLo Green them.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, that's good. I would go number one. Number 1, Goodfellas. 2, Taxi Driver. 3, Raging Bull. 4th, I had written The Last Waltz and then crossed it out and put Wolf of Wall Street. And then 5, Mean Streets. Because Mean Streets came in the
Streets,
telly.
okay, fair enough.
Mean Streets,
yeah, that was in heavy rotation, wasn't it?
Oh God, it was so good. It was just young guys, and it was brilliant music, and it just looked cool. And it was a bit weird for him, but I just loved that film so much.
I'm surprised Martin Scorsese hasn't directed an episode of Mandalorian. Seen as every other fabulous director has directed an episode.
That was a total shock at the end of that episode.
He doesn't do genre though. He said that before. He slagged off the Marvel movies, remember?
Right, but he's slagging off. No, but he's slagging off Marvel, and he's not slagging off the movie. He's slagging off the way the industry treats it. That is all cinema is Marvel. And he says you have to let other things in. It's
basically said
It's a theme
He
park.
sees it. He sees those movies as a theme park. Yeah, it's not movie making. Like he makes movies, so he'd never be interested in doing a Star Wars.
But his point was a little bit more sophisticated. He was just saying you need everything. You know, you can't just have one thing. You can't just have superheroes every week. You've got to have a mix. Everybody likes a mix of things, you know.
Yeah. But it's the new Western, isn't it?
It is the new Western. It's exactly the new Western. Yeah.
It's a genre in itself now, completely.
Right, here's a thing, put out to you guys will know better. So the Western, I reckon, if I was to write the 10 best Westerns, we could all agree on them.
What else are you talking about?
I can tell you, right, there's one in Boca Raton.
Yeah. Right, but from the classic era Hollywood Westerns, right, they made so many Westerns, much more than the Marvel films, millions and millions of them. But actually, there's only about 7 or 8 that have lasted, that people want to watch. Out of all the superhero films, let's say 30 years' time, what are the 7 or 8 ones that will have lasted? My question.
Because
Spider-Man 2, Superman 2, Iron Man.
No, there'll be more than that because the whole Infinity Saga is a whole thing. So all those movies are so beloved. They are Star Wars for kids of this generation.
No, but let's assume like it's going to be like they would say that a John Wayne Wagon Train films. It's the same characters; they were all in it, but only really 2 last. You know, so what are the greatest works of art from superheroes?
Iron Man.
Honestly, Iron Man 1.
Because it's the one that kicked off the whole thing.
Changed things.
And also, it's not really a superhero movie, which is the other thing. It's a guy in a suit.
Yeah, I would also say the Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Volume 1.
I would also say the Captain America trilogy actually is probably the most consistent trilogy.
It's hard though.
Those movies.
The Nolan Batman trilogy is
right. Exactly, and then we've got original Batman, the Burton Batman, original Superman.
Yeah,
I think the original Supermans and the 1 and 2 stand up, but they're very slow. See the editing style now that you see. But movies are much slower paced back then. So
definitely
it's a generational thing. Generational thing where we accepted that, but kids find that really boring.
Honestly, when we watched The Mandalorian, if Grogu's not in it in the first 10 seconds, the kids are like, I'm just going back up to my room. They just have no staying power.
It's kids for you.
Yeah. I mean, you watch those movies and Superman's not even in it in the first hour.
No.
Hour plus.
It is Superman 1 is a bit of a mess. I think it's all over the joint.
It's a gorgeous mess.
It's very dear to me, but
me too.
It is a mess.
1 and 2 to me.
Iron Man, and I think the thing that with the ones that work for me on the Marvel side of the fence are the ones that are witty, because superhero films don't take long before it's like 5 acts and it's like opera and it's really they're taking it dead seriously, whilst also being completely daft. So the Robert Downey Iron Man cut through it all a wee bit for me. It was just kind of like he was taking the piss, which really helps, I think.
Yeah. Definitely, especially when it gets serious, because he's been taking the piss all along. It's kind of like American foreign politics. That is definitely taking the piss all the time, except when you've just been blown up and you have this thing. Like people see that thing in his chest, but it's trying to reverse the course of the shrapnel that's going into his arteries. It's going to kill him. But it's a hard thing to watch. I watched it with Heidi yesterday, and she's like, I can't watch that. You know, but when he's joking, and then eventually it's serious. Favreau has that thing where he just, we watch it week in, week out with The Mandalorian. Favreau's just amazing with that kind of stuff. It's funny.
He's going to be John Favreau is going to be the man. By the way,
I think he is
reckon
the
at
man
Disney.
already. I'll be
Who
honest
would
with
have
you. I
thought
think he is the
that?
man.
Remember Swingers? Who would have
I know,
thought that?
I know.
Swingers.
He was also
And
the MMA
But he's-
CEO in Friends as well.
And Friends, who did the kind of Ultimate
Yeah.
Fighter.
Yeah.
And
He's
he put
not
on
just
all
a
that weight.
director. He's a proper creator. You know, he's like, and he knows exactly how to. He knows exactly this universe.
I thought
Has he
was- I thought
directed?
Jungle
Has he
Book-
directed
Jungle
any
Book was
episodes this season?
I think he directed the
Favreau.
first one.
First one,
Favs.
the Marshal.
Did he? Right, okay.
Directed the Marshal. Yeah.
Right, okay. I'm just waiting on directed by, written by, created by, starred in order of appearance.
Printed the T-shirts.
Yeah, up the barras.
Right, Sloane. Aye. Right, Sloane. You've not done your
Go on, Sloane.
top 5.
I haven't. Yeah, he directed The Marshal. All right, top 5. Okay, I did a top 5 baddies in a Christmas movie.
Oh,
Like it.
like it.
So,
Very topical.
number 5 is Harry Potter in It's a Wonderful Life, played by Lionel Barrymore. Henry Potter.
Yeah, aye.
Henry Potter.
Henry Potter.
And you've got, yeah.
Short name.
Directed by Scott Scott.
Directed by
I
Scott.
used to be able to do an impersonation of this guy. Let me see if I can pull it out of the hat. Judge, you once called me a bitter and twisted old man. But what are you, Judge? But a bitter and twisted young man. I'm going to do you a favor, Judge. I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest.
Well done.
Oh man.
I think you went a wee bit Phil Collins and Buster at one point, but yeah.
No bad thing. Number 4, Phil Collins and Buster.
Go on, Sloane.
Okay, number 4, Gary Busey.
Oh,
He plays Joshua in Lethal Weapon, which is technically a Christmas movie.
Is it?
Yes. So I was reading up about this this week, and apparently Joel Silver, who produced Die Hard and Lethal Weapon, he likes setting his movies at Christmas because he figured if you're going to get residuals from something, if you make it a Christmas movie, you're guaranteed to get residuals from things. And so
I like this
a
chat.
lot of Joel Silver's action movies are set at Christmas, including Lethal Weapon and Die Hard.
And both in LA, though, right? They're both in the sunny bit.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, California Christmas.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it could be
And-
summer, but it's definitely Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jingle Bell Rock plays at the start of. It is in Die Hard, but it plays at the start of Lethal Weapon when she takes the dive off the parapet. And really, Joshua's this horrible, nasty piece of work, and he does it really well. He always plays a bad guy really well.
Yeah, he's
Um,
great.
Number 3 is controversial.
Go
Um,
on.
no.
It wouldn't be like you.
It's from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which is another go-to movie of ours, which I think is
yeah,
great.
me too.
I've got him as a bad guy. I don't know if he's a bad guy. It's technically the neighbors are the bad guy, but it's Clark Griswold, played by Chevy Chase, because he just undermines himself at every conceivable opportunity. So he's
Not a bad guy,
technically
though.
Aye.
the reason why I
He's
put
the
him
The
at
hero of the film.
worst enemy.
Aye, but that,
Although, to be honest, the true bad guy is Julie Louis-Dreyfus and her boyfriend next door. Those are the bad guys.
Yeah, Sloane, you've got that totally twisted.
I don't think.
my favourite bit in that is the sledge, when he's greased up the sledge. And it just takes off.
I love that movie.
It's so good.
Do you enjoy greasing up your sledge,
the
Douglas?
gift that keeps
Many
on-
times. Just before I watched Gogglebox,
Many
Greased
times.
many wonderful times.
Many.
For a special case, you can't leave. Number 2, Alan Rickman as Hanson,
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
Of
one of the
course.
greats.
the terrorist from Die Hard. He's also
one of
exceptional.
the greats.
And seeing as how he's moved to kidnapping.
And it ties in Galaxy Quest, he's in that.
He's
He
in
is.
Galaxy Quest.
Wow.
Bringing it full
We're coming full
Yeah.
circle,
Yeah.
ladies.
full circle. And also the winners of this. My number one is Marv and Harry, the bad
Oh,
guy
of course. Brilliant.
series of
Yes.
movies, because they're just
Home Alone.
fantastic. They sell the
Oh yeah.
slapstick just beautifully. And these are two,
Mhm.
highly trained professional actors, and they're doing this kids movie, and it's just they're so good in it.
Mhm. Mhm.
So,
Oh yeah.
See the
think Joe Pitt-
actual brutality
Yeah.
yes,
done unto them is legendary.
It's
Because-
violent. It's proper violent.
The bit where Macaulay Culkin says, "Come on then, throw a brick at me," and he's up on high, and instead of just letting the brick go, he actually like launches it down at them.
I know. And the paint can from the top of the stairs.
And the second one is
nail.
a wrought iron, a cast iron pipe that he throws overboard as well.
There's a thing in when they slip up on the micro machines and they land
Yes,
terribly on their back.
yeah.
There's a name for that for stunts in Hollywood. Like it's probably like the Home Alone move, but that was born from Home Alone and those guys doing those stunts.
Did they do it themselves? Did they get stunt guys in to do it, or did they do it?
I'm almost certain. Listen, I'm not that much of an expert on Home Alone, but I'm almost certain it was stunt guys. But the brutality of what the stunt guys had to go through, there is a name for that type of comedy brutality because literally everything. I mean, even in Home Alone 2, I mean, it just goes like next level.
Yeah.
But the torture those guys go through is unbelievable. But there's a name for it in Hollywood. It's a thing.
It's not easy to sell slapstick. You just need to watch CBeebies to watch it being done badly. And of how the kids... I got a Laurel and Hardy DVD for my kids to watch. And they loved it, but just to see it done well. It takes good actors to do it. You need to be really good. And Pesci's not just a wee bit good. When The Irishman came out on Netflix last year, there was a little documentary, and it was Scorsese, Pacino, De Niro, Keitel, Pesci sitting around a table.
Yeah.
And the thing that was funny about it was, to them, Pacino was like, hello. Pacino was like the new guy because he's about 8 years younger than them. And they were all kind of, Pesci's moaning, he's saying, I didn't know whether Al was going to do his firework thing. And they were all having a wee laugh. And I was thinking, do they all think Al Pacino's not very good at acting? Is that but between them, they look down their nose at Pacino, And Pesci's part of that group. He's considered equal to all of them. They consider Joe Pesci the same as De Niro and everybody.
Yeah, that's a great conversation they have there with the sort of 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is, where it's just them sitting there. And Joe Pesci doesn't say a word all the way through. He just stares at people, just like... Yeah.
I wanted more from Keitel as well. He's not really in it much. He looked so cool. He just looked brilliant.
It's good to see the old band back together again.
Are you talking Irishman? You talking?
We're talking about that documentary that came out. When they were all sitting in the bar talking about.
Oh, it's very good, isn't it? Yeah, that's on Netflix though.
Yeah, and we're talking about how Pesci slightly looks down. Well, they all kind of slightly have a joke about Al Pacino, and you think Al Pacino to them is the new kid that's not that good. That's slightly looking down.
I know.
I think the other thing as well is that Al Pacino does all the commercials on TV, and the rest of them don't do commercials.
Yeah, because Al Pacino gets screwed by his accountant now.
Oh,
so Al Pacino
he get Nick Cage
millions in tax, and that's why Pacino.
Harvey Keitel does the commercials,
but because he had the same accountant. So Harvey Keitel and Al Pacino were done by the same guy. Pacino came to Glasgow to the SECC and answered questions and did stuff. And Keitel did the direct line stuff where he's had to ask Tarantino if he can use that part. He's really, because they were broke, both of them.
Wow.
I can't think of any other baddies from.
That's James dressed as that character.
What?
That's good. Yeah.
No way.
That's good,
I thought
isn't
that
it?
was a picture of it.
Can you see the tarantula?
No.
Oh, yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
brilliant.
fantastic.
Can you see the iron imprint on my face?
Awesome.
That's
That is
brilliant.
brilliant.
It's very good. Very good.
Ace.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
They were the days back in the day.
Back when I were a lad.
Well, we've gone very long, Sloane.
We have, yeah.
As I
Is
did
this perhaps
suspect.
the longest one?
This could be the
Yes, it is the longest one, James. Yes.
episode could be the longest uncut episode we've ever done.
Thanks for asking.
Anyway, I think we'll end. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about, or are you free to go? Because it's late for you guys. It's like 11:30 or something at night.
I just want to say Rosario Dawson is brilliant. That's all I'm going to say. She's a great actor, and I really appreciate.
Yes, she's
okay.
a
I'm
great
done.
actress.
All right. And on that bombshell, if you want to get timely reminders of when we throw up content, then don't forget to hit the old subscribe button and notification bell. Apparently, you got to hit the notification bell, or else YouTube doesn't know what you're talking about. And of course, smash the like button and share on social media. So Twitter, Facebook, Mastodon.
You got me.
And that would be great as well, because it really does help the channel. Douglas, James, thank you both very much for taking part in our 100th episode.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. It was brilliant.
Yeah, it was
Really enjoyed that.
really
Cheers.
cool conversation. Loved it. There's Grogu there. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and we will catch you all in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Thank you.